game, kind of writing off Billy entirely, feeling like this is SEN's to lose, easiest path to the playoffs for them. But Billy, sometimes a volatile team, but when they hit hard.
Pistol round.
YZ.
Coming in, folks. Eyes on YZ like he pushed up. It's Zekin getting in their face already.
Strike down A.
Trying to get up over towards that belt's directions. Gets his, but YZ is still standing.
That's something that Billy are going to have to be aware of playing on attack. It's so easy for the Omen to get some of these forward positions. Play from belt, play from pipes.
No Sentinels presence here at A, and they're not convinced that that's where Billy are ending yet. Of course, Elsis has pushed up, ready to watch a drift back in the B direction, which is a little bit more tightly held, but now, just now, these rotates are coming through to the A side. Billy looking to pave the way.
They're just biding their time. They're seeing if anyone from Sentinel's backside would have gone for a peek. Maybe they can get a man advantage that way. Neff spots out Zelsis. Everyone from B rotating off. Do they expect this long?
They're gonna crunch him.
Well, they certainly do now. He has to convert. Neff finding the advantage for Billy as the rest of the team pivot back towards this B side, and it looks like he wants to go for more. What a shot!
Out of nowhere comes Neff. Heads are rolling. The IGL from Billy making an early statement.
30 seconds left.
Nice little pivot back here from our Chinese #2 roster. See the vulnerability of Zelsis in mid and pounce on him.
That is a cheeky plant too for mid under tube. You don't see that often. And Narrate was already even tagged up by that additional damage from Neff, who goes insane to open this game up.
Beautiful opener. That early aggression for second isn't something Sentinels can really convert off of, even though it does give them that initial pick-off.
Nasty. The reaction on just the re-swing from John is crazy. And also just credit to Neff for finding that perfect window where the site was open, where the team dragged the rotates, and then he knows that that is his opportunity to get the space. They have enough time to pivot back. Great opening round from Billy. Well played, well called.
They sort of mentioned they were not really satisfied with that win, and it was I think it's safe to say, slightly weakened Team Liquid that we saw turn up for their first game here. That won't be an issue going forward, but this would be a real result. And that is a very illuminating 0 point early.
Card out.
BLG opting to buy in fairly light here. No one committing to a full upgrade rifle on this anti-eco. Neff watching over towards B for any early aggression, posted up with that Marshall. And again, maybe thinking they could absorb some aggression with a full team on A if Zekin opted to go for a forward play, but it's not going to come, so just pivoting back to B main.
John at least has this one-way poison orb that he can play off of, but it's unlikely he's going to be able to encourage a bounce back to A for Billy. And now they hear the Marshall ring out, they know it's about to get heavy. Pressure on John as he backs away. Harbor wall's going to be set up now. SEN will have a chance to fight for this.
Looks like YZ wants to go hunting, playing up top, unexpected position.
Takes a bit of damage, drops on down, but the rest of Sentinels are considering throwing themselves at the situation. Knight from Yellow spray through that Viper wall. His double controller can be very oppressive to play against, and YZ finds a time to get back in. Knight cleans off Narrate, trying to control from Crow's Nest. Zekin and John. Yeah, not long for this one. Great little shock dart that catches the KO out, and Zekin has not got much to do. So SEN do fork over 5 ult orbs to Billy here in this anti-eco.
Cleaned up with these, the actual guns brought into that round, recovered as well from Billy, so can't really ask for anything more than that. Sentinels are going to be on their first full buy.
Last player.
I'm so low on HP then.
So it's a stack for SEN over on the A side that doesn't really pan out. Billy just, Spidey senses tingling. They opt not to commit there. And they make the right call in the end. Rifles in hands now. Still a Marshall for Neff, Guardian for Rusia. Levi's with the Bulldog. YZ takes a big hit early. And my goodness, the audacity to stand and fight that. Ends up being a trade. Happy enough with that for the attack side on your bonus.
Kano wanted to go for more swing off of that, but didn't actually have a second player to then go with him, so that offers an opportunity for SEN to even things up. Not without 2 of their additional players, though, Zelsis and Bang taking a significant amount of damage. Again, Zekin is just going to take advantage of these teleports on any decent opportunity he can find on defense, get into these angles that other players couldn't.
Of course, he has his own variation on the poison orb. One way that we see. So we'll be slowed down, BLG towards green. They might have to pull the pin on this one. Alarm bot in mid, so this would spot out any BLG attempt to thrust up that part of the map. Then have 2 players distributed a day.
Just hoping that acquiring that orb, the sound from it will keep SEN to some extent distracted. Now have them
30 seconds left.
steadfast on that B site for this late pivot over towards A, where you do have Bang, John stacked up. They want to anchor. These are entrenched positions.
Bang those got a good little line around it one way. Russia, how?
The jump peak.
2 headshots. Absurd against Liquid. Russia also incredible game from him. Big step up and in a pivotal role on this harbor. Cracks that A site open.
That play should not be happening. That is not realistic. What on earth? We're going to need to see the replay of that one. I believe he gets the spike down as well, so he's just 2 orbs away now from the Reckoning and off on the hunt even. Bonus round being converted on attack. We have seen this map be pretty attack favored since coming back in the pool with just A-hit slams, especially when you have the harbor. It's so oppressive. It's so difficult to get back in those sites.
Russia belatedly now going for some extra guns. Knows there's a very likely going to be a turret awaiting him in kitchen. And I'm getting deja vu. This is reminiscent of SEN's start against Wolves on split. They lose the pistol and the bonus, and then the timeouts start rolling in as they look for an answer.
Yeah, they just did not come into that game yesterday looking warmed up at all. It took until that second half. It took until Narrate stepped up, wins a clutch, inspires the rest of his teammates with some confidence. That is unreal. Little micro snap.
Oh, I mean, that is land Valorant at its best.
He cannot believe that that happened. And I don't blame him, because neither can I. BLG also, because they just carried over such weak weapons into that bonus, look at the amount of rifles they recovered. Look at their economy already. 4 players at 5K or so.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work for SEN to try and keep a lid on this and to get us in a rate. Embroiled in an early engagement. YZ doubles down.
7-1 for him already. YZ is a relentless player. He only holds down W. He will always go for more. Even if there's not a util to support him, he'll just play off of whatever he's got. He's going to always take the fight to you.
And that right now is learning that the hard way. No chance to deploy any of that Gecko util falling early. John's about to swing this from lower rafter. Does he have a timing on Knight? Gives himself up.
And in the meantime, yeah, look at Neff. He has worked his way up tube again. This turret has been watching this position. So if he goes a bit further, he's going to have to break that. The rest of Billy making a late round pivot towards B. This has been the name of the game for them so far. Send that one lurker, typically Neff, get some space, which he succeeded at. Pressure the other side of the map with a pack and then pivot back.
Second tried to put that one way back up there. Wyatt, but looks like Billy a little bit too fast for him. Caught out of green here by this nanoswarm, and Levius is affected by the paranoia. So Zekin decides to tuck in Snowman. SEN want to take a pitched engagement here after the plant.
Oh, it is dangerous. Their harbor is down, so they don't have that additional high tide to actually obscure the view from these angles. And Zekin takes full advantage of that. There's not enough power to keep that Viper wall up, so K9 can actually get away.
Challenging them to dig BLG out of these entrenched positions around the B site. Zelsis, though, does get a spot. That 0 point was pretty helpful. Does he drop down and take a fight? He's looking for a gun barrel. Sees it on the right, but Neff's too quick with the left side swing. John will flash himself out here. Zekin had to take that yellow fight, and John succeeds. It's all on YZ now. A great start to the round, but he can't quite land the plane. That is a hard-fought round for Sentinels to win. And it's very costly to get the defenders into the game.
Steady hands there of John and a couple well-placed flashes to allow him to get back in that sight. Take out Levius, who was in a deep entrenched position, tucked in that corner. That was Sentinels fully forced into the round after saving a couple rifles on the prior. If this had been converted by BLG, massive lead would have been taken.
And so much of this is built off the absence of Russia. None of that harbor util to make it that much more difficult for SEN to locate these anchored positions from BLG.
Yeah, K-Note's inability to escape after planting that spike was his undoing. That was nice from Zekin. Obviously, this BLG economy is out of control. They're going to keep buying, and they love just swinging from belt. Aggression, with that cascade covering up some of the potential dangerous angles. Just that standard Harbor util to open up the round, send that forward, deny the defenders from the ease of getting that orb.
But even if they lose this round, BLG have that economy from such a sick start to keep the pressure on. Here's now drone narrate in a pretty aggressive position, and bang, is there to follow up.
I mean, that is the most YZ-coded YZ play. Oh, I know where he is. Time to swing. I mean, just... And hey, so far, it's been working for him. I cannot blame him whatsoever.
It's been the same spot he's played from, though, and SEN had a high-low setup with Bang there, just pushing around pipe. BLG there maybe just overplay their hand a little bit, and we're running low on time. 43 seconds left in the round. No duelist up for BLG.
And that does break that alarm button. You can see it has drawn some attention from the defenders of SEN. Both initiators pivoting towards that boiler position, mid position, and now the util is coming through from Billy to get into this site. When Rusia gets the spike down here, if he can get it down, and should in the cove, he's going to have the reckoning for the post plant. That could be enough to convert a 4 versus 5.
Playing from the cove instead, Obster. Head up to Crow's Nest. They'll be posted up on 410. SEN, all 5 guns in the game for a retake. A very flash-heavy composition. First, it's a bit of information. Thrash is going to go ahead, see what he can spot out. Rushia's on top of 410, and he'll be brought down by Bang, who's been very snappy in these rounds. Nightfall's by the wayside. Now it's Neff and Levius who have to play from a long distance. Neff, IGL, all on his own, and that is stunning. It's up to Zelsus and John to bring him down, but John's on the defuse, still gets the job done. Ironclad nerds to keep the stick. Neff exits with 4, but not the round win.
Brutal damage done to SEN. Look at their economy there. Coming into this, it's pretty appalling, and they're staring down the barrel of multiple ults. That reckoning wasn't actually used by Rusia. Didn't have the opportunity. Was a little bit focused, perhaps too much so on getting kills. He was posted up top here. And Bang exploits the lack of anyone being able to trade for him. Just gets an isolated 1v1. And from there, it's all too easy for the rest of the SEN players to pull back in, immediately pressure the spike. That was well played, but now they're in serious danger of getting put onto an eco.
The Ardrone again to dissuade. Narrates pretty forward positioning here off the rip. Okay, a cascade thrown out here, but BLG are behind it. Moving to B early this time.
BLG have been getting pretty free control of B main, and you can see that they're leaving the orb. They're going to give it to K-Knight. He's going to have the Hunter's Fury.
Delsus here has to play as safely as he can. Harbor Wall to follow up on the Viper one. The BLG under the cover of all of this site obscuring util will have their plant.
Just walking through. He's just walking through the walls.
But he can. He's not walking into a high-low setup like he was the previous round. It was that singular player of Zelsus. And he wasn't even in an aggressive spot. Viper's bit to follow up here. Zekin found YC though again.
Not slow down. He's just going to keep fighting.
Maybe that's exactly what SEN are hoping for. They've evened up the odds now. Okay. Here's the null command. Rusia has to respect the fragment, stepping to the side of it now, still occupying this pit, but takes a big hit down to 30. It's dangerous, but Rusia thrives in these circumstances, and the spray is good. 2 for the Harbor. Levy is now playing from Crow's Nest. Sees John on the low ground, but all these ultimates, it's just too much to handle. BLG close a round out.
That is just YZ opening up the round with a great kill onto Zelsus. Always going to hunt for more. But ultimately, in that retake situation, there's just too much util remaining, too many ults remaining for the Billy side. Once this pit goes down before John is able to use the null command, they are in a horrific situation to get back in. And look, going into this, we're looking at a YZ that throughout stage 1 was able to be the highest ACS, highest difficult to execute our game plan. We're not used to their style. We're not used to the way that region plays. It took time to adapt, to get in the game. And Billy, they're pretty unique. YZ, 1 of 1 player.
5 suppressed.
0 point revealing all of BLG. They're on a slow roll in this A direction. Last time there was a stack here for SEN at A. On that round number 2, they pivoted away from it towards B. This time, though, YZ's licking his lips, looking to put this Blade Sword to work. Reckoning also going to be deployed now. It's a lot for SEN to manage with these weaker weapons. And YZ, float like a butterfly, gets hit pretty hard, though. They're dropped low. Zelsus did fall by the wayside. And here's K-Knight in to the cookie jar. And we'll have his meal. It's all on second now. We'll step up and let this one be done without much events.
absolutely effortless with that Reckoning. I mean, when your positions are getting scrambled and you have to fight out in the open, awkward engagements with bad weapons, you're just absolutely fried. And that's going to be Billy's economy thriving in the latter part of this first half. Serious control of this game. Sentinels maybe just at least glad that all of those ultimates have been expended over the last couple rounds.
These early explorations for Billy been pretty effective, often pivoting away from a bomb site once they gain enough info. Now we're headed over towards the B direction, and as always, Nev trying to play through mid, but this time John is ready, playing from Boiler.
Oh, Zekin just unaware of what's going on, and Zelsis tries to swing in for him. They end up going 2 for 2. Not a horrendous result. Safety in the cove to get this spike down for Russia. How do Billy want a position right now? They're going back into B main. Why is he going far away? It looks like he wants to try to rewrap through mid. The danger is the spike isn't exactly planted for him, so he's going to have to pick up the pace and get really deep towards that site.
Wow, up onto the tube, but he's made a bunch of noise, and bang is ready for him. Never change, Wisey.
Found them.
2 players over here towards yellow. That's what BLG are working with in this post plant. John is readying a pop off this flash. Russia moves in. Oh my goodness, again! That is ungodly from Russia! In the mosh pit, not a care in the world. Another buy round from SEN, slapped down.
Swings out in the molly. SEN a little too slow to react. Wall lined up. Again thrown onto an eco. This is brutal. Things getting so scrambled with the anchors here between Zelsis and Zekin.
This has again been the issue though. Look at SEN's overwhelmed by this pace. Like, Zekin is not ready for Wisey to be so quick to yellow. Zelsis, as a result, is caught out in the open, and they do well to go 1 for 1, 2 for 2 in that case. But still, they get overwhelmed.
This really is some serious deja vu from yesterday against Wolves. The team from China starting on attack, hitting crazy shots, running over them mechanically, and it took SEN until the second half to get their heads in the game. But right now, things are getting completely out of hand. Feels even more so than with Wolves yesterday.
Here comes all of the Harbor util deployed. Cove placed it a little further into the open. K9 able to get a plant, despite being a bit more exposed. And there's Russia yet again. Sharpest attack. Narrate tries to show.
Just another Reckoning already. Absurd.
And they're making great use of this now. SEN really having their jimmies rustled. Only with these sheriffs to go to work with. Another clean execute. BLG once more commit that Reckoning into a half buy. An eco round for SEN just to secure it.
What was it, 2 rounds ago? I think on the other eco he had used one just to convert it with ease. Only a handful of opportunities for Sentinels left to get into this. As I mentioned earlier, this attack side on Icebox has certainly been favored since its return to the pool. Teams are just so overwhelming with their assaults on these sites. 2 is not nearly enough to play with. That just feels like an inevitability for Billy to take this when the sides swap. Another buy round, many ultimates to play with. Bang yet to get super involved on this map, and it's a map that I associate with his dominance. His anchoring here is typically fantastic, but just hasn't had opportunities to get things rolling just yet.
So far though, Bang really has been the only antidote to the chaos that Wisey has brought. Catching him as he, updrafted onto tube or part of that high-low swing on A. SEN have not been able to string these rounds together. This time though, they got ultimates that can dictate tempo a little bit more to the defenders' favor. Viper's pit there at B. Lockdown should have been needed, unless Zelsis gets flattened here.
I do like this setup from SEN. They have good information across the entire map. Controlling B main with the pit. They've got the turret to watch for players coming up tube. Zelsis can watch under, just jiggling that angle. The sack on A. This is a solid setup.
All right, what is this?
Split right now, the rare A split.
Okay, we've got some pressure coming from A main at the same time as well. Narrate has fallen on the side. John getting a little bit nervous, but he's going to spray him anyway. Oh, it's a 3-piece for the Moroccan mastermind. And he knows there are players on the side for Billy. Bites his time. Gets second up by Rafters to take the fight, but Levius beats him to the punch and through the smoke, apparently. Levius deals with John.
You should run.
Numbers are even now, and both teams go for these lockdowns simultaneously. A Venn diagram of disaster in the middle, and Zelsis waits on them to come on out and give him a fight. Boy, howdy. SEN having to fight tooth and nail for every one of these rounds.
That was so chaotic. John again goes off. At the moment has been the catalyst for SEN getting rounds. Adjustment back, spray down, ready for the swing on the right from YZ. That was snappy aim again from the IGL.
Good call to fight mid, boys. Really good job fighting mid. I almost threw, but I'm goated.
I think self-affirmation is very important. Part of the tool set for a competitive player.
You know, I'd love to see teams on attack go for the A split. It's very rare, but unfortunately, when you try to reinvent the wheel on Icebox, you lose the round. You hate to see it. I think the A split win rate on this map might be like 10%, but
not great.
Keep on trying. I love to see the attempts. It is just so hard to pull off.
It's YZ this time. Getting up to very early. Obviously wants to listen out. Looking for his latest dose of diet milk.
Cover going out.
Oh, what happened to Zek in there? He's very, very low. Just some trades here. Shots through the one-way, most likely. Favor Billy Billy. And there's shot.
Oh my god.
Nonchalant is YZ.
I'm liking this round from Billy Billy right now with YZ fighting this middle area of the map, the rest of the team making a lot of noise B main, and then I believe they run away out of B main to try and audio cue a pivot. Is Nary going to catch YZ here? He's trapped between two players.
Caught an audible. YZ now reveals himself. Narrate's got the timing. Finally, the thorn in the side for SEN has been extracted, but plant down a B behind all of this controller util.
That offered enough distraction that neither anchor could focus on main. Thrash coming through Paranoia into B main as well. Counter Hunter's Fury, just can't connect onto Narrate.
A little bit too low. Neither Narrate nor Zelsis affected. Rushia in this position. We saw him rip a shot on towards Crow's Nest a couple rounds back. This time a little bit more patient. Levy is in position for a wrap. SEN surely. Oh, they've got a turret watching the timing, but it doesn't seem to matter because they're fighting over the B. It's favoring this Chinese squad. It is Russia dominating yellow again and again.
Russia is looking incredible on LAN right now at this international event. He's stepping up from the last games we saw of him during their qualifying run. He was good, but he's hitting another level right now.
Just another reckoning. Just around the corner, by the way.
It is meant to be one more orb and he'll have it. BLG are just so proactive. They are just choosing to swing out together, find a timing where SEN are trying to move forward. They're catching them out in the open on these retake efforts.
Defensive null command is ready here for John. Tough though to get ahead of this Viper Harbor comp that canvas off this B side so effectively.
You know, at no point SEN have even had a worthy enough economy to try and op in this half at all. Never been an option. And this last one, Zelsis going to get more proactive, get down mid. BLG have certainly been sending silent lurks in that area of the map, so hoping to catch someone.
They're pinging Zelsis' location, but the turret's been extracted from that area. Levy's pulled it out. And Neff doesn't quite have a sharp enough peek around the corner. Now SEN have that mid control this round.
I love that from Zelsis. This is a really intelligent pivot.
So look at SEN pulling off this A side. Perhaps because of this. The reckoning comes in, SEN's just going to give it up for the time being. Zekin. Got to be joining the team now.
Okay, Kano wants to get in a cheeky position to even things up, but he's triple swung. SEN are so prepared for that. Probably expecting YZ to be up there, to be frank, but they'll be happy to get that kill regardless.
Through the high tide, expect multi-swings on YZ. He's got to get out. Cloudburst away with the Paranoia and effect. Rushia, though, again, surely not. He backs up. Takes John QT out of the game and then falls back to a more safe position. He gets a second. How is he getting away with this? Levius and YZ now have to fight for this in a short-handed situation. He's on the spike location and in the middle of the dark cover. He dispatches Narrate. Now, though, overwhelmed. Zekin and Zelsis to the rescue. Levius sees one of them, but he can't stop Zelsis. A great round from Zelsis, getting that mid-control, converting into a very important fourth round for SEN. Deja vu vibes continue from their last game.
Zelsis really did play that last round fantastically. Him and John, the two players that have kept SEN in this game. 4 can be enough for this second half when you get rolling on attack.
All right, we've got more Icebox just around the corner as Billy Billy makes a strong start. It's up to SEN City to come alive.
Wants another death.
see what SEN have for us, though, on this attack side, which is where obviously they were able to generate some momentum in their last game. With the pistol now, already early push up from Billy here. YZ, unsurprisingly at the front, and Zekin is waiting.
Nice little classic right click to open things up for SEN on a much-needed pistol round. Now taking their time. Zekin's going to wait for the rest of the team to be able to group up so they can take B main together. Neff just hoping to get one kill and then escape, and he does exactly that.
That was narrate, poor guy. Get taken down there. So that at least has given Billy a bit more confidence, evening the ledge. There's now an encroachment from the SEN side on A, and it's just K-Knight who's watching for belts.
Bro is out in the open, just watching for belt. Recon going to go through today. Attempt to swing onto pressure coming both sides of the map.
That, well, gets swung on. K-Knight's the one that precipitates that action. He is very exposed in that spot. Here's Russia. He also pretty exposed and on his own.
Fellas, we're getting a little bit too silly with these peaks right now. SEN are exploiting that overextension and aggression from the defenders. Now Levius wants to get in a decent position. He's go for the one. I love the way he's playing. This performance is sick.
That is raw sauce. And there is Neff to come to the rescue. That could have gone awfully wrong for BLG. What a tale of two teams in that round. Firstly, individuals out in the open getting picked off, and then Levius, 3 kills from behind that box. That is diabolical.
That was buttery smooth movement. He's breaking ankles. They don't know which side to look on. He's just taking
30 seconds. One enemy remaining.
Look at how he's able to isolate players with 3 of them staring at him.
Neff says, all right, you've done most of the work. I'll come through and clean up the round. That's pretty rough for this America's roster. SEN desperately needed a pistol here to get something going. No force here, though, in the anti-eco. Pistols, and Neff says, well, don't mind if I do.
He loves just pushing up, getting one and leaving. He gets away with it again. But then, of course, this is just SEN on all classics. Pretty standard way to take yellow there. We're going to probably see that a couple more times in this half, where you have Zekin teleport across, basically pseudo-jet, while that flash comes through from John.
Neff trying to see what he can find. YZ, front center, delivers. Zekin flattened Russia. Pick it up where he left off. And he'll have himself a defuse here because, of course, we love Reckoning. Great ability.
I gotta say, the anti-ecos from Billy this game have been great. They are hardly taking any damage at all. A couple in the first half, they were committing the Reckoning to do it. There should be so many kills. He just kept cycling through those. It felt like it didn't even matter. But it has just kept them in this state where they are winning the economic game. SEN had to eco several times in that first half. You see it on the timeline. They're not able to string anything together. Billy were just chilling the entire time. They even won the bonus on the first half. They don't take any of the upgraded rifles on that initial anti-eco. They still won it. Same case here. They have Bulldogs, a Guardian, a couple SMGs.
Sentinels need a clean first gun round here against Billy. Otherwise, things get awkward. Staying quite here to dissuade any early aggression. Sensei, right, we'll wait this one out. In the middle of the dark cover is YZ, hovering over them like a spectre. Holding onto it as well, it's narrated, taken out, and he just drops back.
With the Spectre as well, and now they want to double up play back yellow. They have been spotted out by the 0 point stealing. Nice little cascade to play off. I like that Renusha giving good utility to support, to these anchors.
Slowly, Billy giving up this map control, but they're always forcing SEN to part with their util in order to do so. Very expensive advancement for SEN across the map here.
Celsius is hoping to be on his Neff arc going through Tube. Hoping to have as much impact as the Viper did on those attack side lurks. He's hearing a lot of movement there, actually. Of the players going through Kitchen. That should alert the rest of the team that they can get into this B site off the wall. And it's nice when you have those additional dark covers as well. You can cover up, obscure that angle from Snowman, make it safer to...
Oh, God. Zelsa surely has heard this. Looks like very quickly YZ got under Tube. So Zelsa hasn't been able to be effective from this position outside of just radioing back some of this information.
Look at that second, puts a dark cover on the turret so he can get by undetected.
Maybe this is taken down here. Second, playing from yellow. Knight has to step up here. SEN got 3 guns in the game still. K-Knight needs to find a way to extract them. Maybe take Bang first. And it's a big ass, and Zelsis finally activates.
He's in the action.
Forced on her way. And there you have it, Sentinels. That first buy round is fruitful. 3 rifles maintained. When the climb begins.
They were really doing the most. So Zelsis could win that round with the flank, but they ended up just killing everyone on the retake anyway, so all good. Nice
Enemy
bang
remaining.
there. Able to just get that intuitive timing on the spam through for another player to swing.
Something sort of indicates to Billy that they need to rotate off that B side after they throw the high tide up, but SEN just cut noise and wait. They sort of respect that stall util.
Spike drop.
So Billy are in a bit of an awkward spot in the end when it comes to the side hit. They allow for a plant. Here's round 16 for you.
Early 0 point thrown from John over towards pipes, which is going to be very common because YZ will love to just stand up there, activate the dash, go for an early fight. Oh my god, again, Neff, speaking of early fights, just wants to keep trying to get these tight angle picks in main and then fall away. That time, punished hard for it.
This is something we've seen SEN do already this tournament. On the attack side, punish these individual wide swings, risky plays from their opponents, and there's Zelsis. Sometimes the best late plans go to waste. That one, though, at least results in a 1-for-1. And SEN have a pretty heavy-handed post-plant scenario now. And now I think Billy say, we don't have a whole lot to do here.
That was nice from Zelsis, just able to timing that drone. And again, this is another round where he gets a lot of information over towards A because Billy, they are so far pushed up. They are trying to drone that deep, which is pretty wild. And so he just knows that, hey, the rest of you just go on into B. It's either light or free at this point. I mean, most likely light, you know, with a 1 anchor playing far back, spam angle through Snowman, something like that. And so they're happy to just take that site for free yet again.
A bunch of questions about, you know, John moving into this more initiator-focused role. Some people speculated that after the Teo nerfs, he'd move back, but he said, I feel it's much easier for me to call a macro game when I'm not lurking on the other side of the map playing Sentinel, much like Zelsis is in this round. Because I kind of want to be in the initiator shoes, I'm comfortable in this role, and I have a much better handle on both the micro and macro aspects of the game where I can play with the body of the team.
Yeah, nice to be able to have that utility to set up second, be very involved in the executes. Let's see what Billy up to do here. They are just going to half buy with the saved rifles. They don't want to commit too much. Their economy is definitely not great enough to do so. Rushi actually with the glass cannon Guardian, very rare, and has another Reckoning. So
3 suppressed.
perhaps that can be enough to win this half buy round.
I mean, what he did with that Guardian earlier in that first half,
That was
should be
wild.
studied.
That was disgusting.
Sentinels here kind of enveloped by that high tide on A, and no hurry to leave for now, but this Al drone is likely going to reveal at least Zekken. So they know the Omen is there. On B, tentatively SEN are starting to probe this part of the map, and Neff has to find a timing sort of to swing out, but sees nothing.
Bang has gotten in a great forward position. Neff will be falling back. Billy are happy to be stacked up towards A. They want to push up right now, but what a timing on that 0 point.
That sees 2 players. So SEN actually going to back up on A. They are really working the map right now. With Neff pulling away from B, SEN have found a good time to rotate, but likely will be sniffed out by Billy pretty darn quickly. They're going to make a 4-8 straight down mid. They'll get to B pretty quickly as a result. This Viper's wall, though, will be a factor and in play.
30 seconds left.
Narrate's looking to try and get up a plant.
They're really trying to delay with these mollies, and in fact, if time gets low enough, they might want to use this Reckoning if they can stop the Wingman.
They didn't. Wingman gets the plant down, and John and Bang get to work. Oh, buddy, blink, can you miss it? Billy try and interrupt the plant midway through, swing that wall, but they've got no idea what's waiting for them on the other side.
Deleted from the server. John is turning up. Another 3K. I think that's his 3rd of the game so far. Deny that half by deny any value for the Reckoning, which is ultimately just thrown out the window now. Pop flash through. Just you move. I love how John's playing this KO. We talk about him being set up teammates as an IPL, but also when you're in this KO role in a deepest listen you're one of the most active entry players. It's him and Zekken, and there are going to be a lot of moments where they're going to want to take time and swinging through Viper walls.
We see just how these very heavy flash
Side.
They don't have an Aldrone Sentinels to force that up, but Dizzy can have a similar effect. Wising is glass cannon here. So he probably has to be a little bit cognizant of that. Strong wind would blow him over.
Try and take this mid-cross, which is going to be... Oh my god, okay!
We just said it! Not the kind of caster curse I'm sure Wisey would have liked. No armor, very susceptible to that spray down through the smoke, and that's a high-value kill that Sen got. Zekken, though, is out of the game.
I like that confidence from Levius hearing the teleport, swinging out to even things up. High tide, the cycle, when that Viper Wall drops, the lockdown is placed. Billy Billy try to fight or just get out. K-Knight is hoping to just get a spam kill before retreating out of it. They will play this safe.
There are, amidst this, getting Neff in a backstab position, but he's spotted out by the turret and actually has to call a cancel on that. Narrates in the side. Here comes a Viper's Pit now from Sentinels to shore things up. K-Knight swings out. John, man, he's been solid. Finds his one. Rushi, though, has been very, very dangerous in situations not unlike this one. Zelsus knew this was coming. The turret got broken about 10-15 seconds ago, and he knew Narrates. Okay. Gets in there and interrupts Rushia. Now Levius credited with that first kill of the round on Zekken. This is just too much to expect from him. And Narrate steps up to clean him out.
Op not able to get an ounce of value. They just free spam through, gets that kill. And then Sen, very easy 1-2 hit with the ultimates. Lockdown, take the site, everyone's off. Viper's Pit, playing it with the post plant. It's just that simple sometimes.
You don't mess with my
Zelsus
crew.
again with that awareness too to watch the flank. He is playing a great map right now. Really impressed by him.
Trying to
very
fight
smart,
me.
more than anything.
See how it goes.
Null command on deck here for Sentinels. They're always the option for a fast hit behind that ultimate. It is going to be a somewhat eco round here. Neff going for that Guardian. Early high tide here just to cover that A side of the map as Billy Billy look to hedge their bets through mid and B instead.
I'll tell you, Billy would love to be able to force some of these ultimates out on this round. So when they get to the next buy round, they can have the advantage in terms of the ult economy, with K-Nut being one away. Still holding on to their lockdown as well.
Billy Billy have no current information about the A side of the map. So the Aldrone does get deployed. K-Knight needs to get an idea of the movements of Sentinels, and they've got a bit of info here. Bladestorm's at the ready for Wisey.
Suppressing.
The timing looks pretty good. Here's nobody. Okay, just one affected by that 0 point. An income Sentinel trying to make this hit, but bang, is taken down. Wisey eviscerates him now as K-Knight tries to crouch and spray. It's no good.
Long range that frenzy, not going to do a whole lot. I mean, I like John using Null Command to turn those knives off, but he's just hungry for more. Traded out.
Still, Wisey is in that flanking position. Sen know there might be a little bit of a clock, and the knives are back out and ready to go, but Narrate's getting into the game now. What a time to do it. Levius again, the last player standing. There's a lot to deal with. The turret claims him. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
I'm going to assume he stood up if I turn around or doing something after the turret kill. That's too funny. Okay, Billy Billy, at least, like I said, all right, they get one of the ults out. The Null Command is forced because they want to ensure that YZ can't do anything on the flank with the Bladestorm after he kills Bang. And frankly, that did end up mattering. He had the angle. One of the players probably would have gotten a kill with the Bladestorm, but only had the Frenzy as that secondary. Yeah, as expected.
Yeah, get that soundbite in there. Make sure we don't miss that one. Early thrash off the rip here over towards the B side of the map. Billy Billy quickly have to give that space up as K-Knight is looking for a Hunter's Fury to light them up and sees nothing. Not a damn thing.
I was just hoping to, of course, catch Narrate there after he uses the Thrash. That is not the case, and Narrate should be able to recover that ult to use it again.
Second time that K-Knight's tried that. Last time was when Narrate thrashed out on defense. Zekken is, look at him, entrenched here in mid. Also, has his ultimate available. Where are we headed with that?
You want more?
Sen taking their time on the flanks, waiting to see if anyone is going to push out. Thrash clearing out everything. Front side does get the ping on the YZ, but certainly no one should be able to convert on that. He's way too far back.
I think they're going to try and fight this anyway.
Going for it.
He's recovered. Yeah, ships in the night. They pass through the dark, cover on either side of each other. Zekken has gotten deep, but YZ has a chance to pop out here, and Zelsus is not ready for it. There's a gap in the net. Zekken, though, himself is the cat amongst the pigeons. Tries to get away. The Reckoning deployed. And BLG able to catch him out. Deny SEN the chance to even up the game and now get one step closer to claiming this map themselves.
That was almost so clutch from Zekin. Just didn't know exactly where he wanted to teleport, waited one unfortunate extra second.
Planted.
At some point there, I
Can't
believe
use
Rusha
that.
got a kill, which was
One enemy.
why he was able to get and then gets that reckoning at the very last moment just to ensure
Not
that they
ready
can
yet.
win this very crucial 2 versus 1.
YZ was able to slip through. We get 2 kills on that retake. I think Zelsis is just not ready to see a Billy player come from there after Zekin already pushed into his own smoke like that. Awkward.
Does have the Viper's Pit. Does he want to just use this on B straight away? No, he doesn't. Expecting maybe there's going to be a Dizzy with a teleport up top from Zekin there. Wanted to post up on the angle.
Pretty patient from Neff. We saw Bang throw his down off rip in this context. Here's the Viper's Pit over in the B site.
Going to use it fairly late, but it'll deny the common plant spot.
Sentinels, though, still convinced there's a reason to linger.
Why is he pushed up very close? You can see the rotation that has been called due to that from Billy. All of the players stacked towards B, even with the Viper's Pit down there. SEN, they want nothing to do with it. You know, this comp that they have, it is lacking a tool to really effectively deal with getting through a pit. So they would rather go towards this A site. YZ is hoping to just get one and run away.
Doesn't have a tailwind. Always had to be like a natty peak. And again, he has no backup. He doesn't expose himself like some of his contemporaries did in this situation earlier this map.
30 seconds left.
Paranoia comes in. YZ unaffected, though. He's going to be tucked here by the box, but Zekin knows where to dig him out. But here come the reinforcements.
The spike is so far forward.
It is out in the open. Zekin has to help John retrieve. And they're going to come forward. Playing from Crow's Nest now. It's Zekin in a 1 versus 3. Haroshi is too quick for him. 3 for the Harbor. Map point for Billy.
It's been a great effort for SEN to come back on this second half. But at the very last moment, Billy are looking like they're going to capture another win with Rusha and YZ both at 22 kills right now. That's what they finished with the other day when they played Icebox. But they've still got more rounds to push things further. They are playing so well. It was dangerous from YZ's point of view. This guy's committing to the site. He's trying to tuck. He spotted out. He had to break that molly. But Billy were so fast on that rotate back from B into the site that he got the support he needed. Hides here. Even if SEN can get this one, Billy have enough cash to keep things going, keep applying the pressure. And 3 opportunities to close this game out. Take their map pick.
Shadows traveling.
Dialed in our Sentinels. They know they've got a hill to climb. Does he catches YZ, but he's hanging on the rope for the time. What am I watching? He still crosses. The sheer audacity from this guy eventually. Tailwind's going to get him back to safety. Billy, though, happy to rattle the cage a little bit.
Rusha wants to go for more as well, just trying to take a little jiggle peek, catch someone before his exit.
No respect for Billy here.
They're happy on defense right now to just maintain those stacked up positions towards A, play B for retake. It's just the alarm bot over there from Levius to get the information if SEN are going to push up. He also ran out just hearing the footsteps. Everyone's here. 0 point clears back B. It's going to be a flash for Zekin to get back yellow.
K-Knight does have that Recon dart available, so
Does K-Knight just have the 6th sense right now?
he's hanging around, doesn't? Oh god, he's still holding that line. Zelsis is about to walk into a trap, and K-Knight from the rafters hangs. It doesn't matter. What a win for Zelsis. Now it's a step forward for Sentinels, but much more to be done. Look at this rotate getting pulled over.
It's convinced them that they have to go back to this A site. SEN fully cut noise after getting space back yellow on B. Zelsis caught, so things are evened up, but the plant will be going down 4-3 right now.
He single-handedly opens this opportunity for SEN to get an uncontested B-side plant. Trades his life out. He's done his job for now.
John has a strong amount of utility to play with here as well. Actually has both flashes. They didn't need to use it to take back yellow earlier. He's got the molly for delay. Zekin has a paranoia. Going to be tough for Billy to get back in. They do have a cove maybe to get a safe defuse. They're hoping to use it there. Yep, it's going to be activated.
Paranoia throwing out Zekin, just a little too slow to the punch. Narrate tucked in the corner. He knows he's going to be overwhelmed, and Wisey wants to push up into the rest of the defenders. The high tide comes down, and so does the curtain on this first map for Sentinels. The dragon stirs, and Billy are eyeing off that playoff spot.
If perhaps can keep it in the tuck and go up against a Billy Gaming who they were able to watch. This is where they beat Liquid the other day to get into this position in this match. So SEN going to be relying on the information that they were able to glean from that affair.
The last time Billy made a global playoffs, it was to beat a North American team to do so. It was quite some time ago, though.
My eyes are down.
That's what waits on the other side of this map for your attack side team, folks. And they're already headed over to A. SEN not really in attendance.
On that roster, that was still YZ, K-Knight. They know what it takes to get to that position in the bracket to make it to those playoffs. Neff catches a beautiful timing while the rest of the players swing from mid for the distraction. Lovely.
He was waiting for that. He knew, of course, there'd be contact taken by his top mid teammates.
Even a dink onto Zelsis, 13 HP. Back Boba doubling up with John, who has a full kit, but no players to actually use it with.
Shock dart, that's dangerous. Definitely threatening to someone like Zelsis. Now, gonna swing out there, taken down. K-Knight is quite low as his Levius. We're in a post plant though, so SEN just have to throw themselves at this, and YZ will wait for them. Relay bolt to pave the way, and then he slides. Easy as you like. Forget about buying a Val. Can SEN buy a pistol?
It's simple, but I just love what BLG are able to do there. Neff getting all of that space, the walk down, and flanking into tiles. And that's the thing that takes that fight. Being caught with a util out.
One enemy.
Stun onto Zekin, I believe. That is so well played. So simple, but so well done.
And again, gets Billy off to a hot start here on Sunset. Already saw this against Team Liquid. It went close. 13-10 result for them. We may not see Lotus if they keep this up. Already over towards B. Checking for trap wires. None are present. There's going to be a counter push here coming out of Market.
Spike planted.
Want to go off this paranoia. Zekin running in.
Russia, though, ready to receive him. Zekin just cut down before he can really land any sort of damage. And that's just going to push this. Says, oh, well, let's just see what's on the other side of tomorrow. K9 will see John. He'll be low. Easy as you like. Pretty cheap, straightforward bonus. Russia even had a proper rifle in this round.
This is continuing the theme of Billy Gaming winning all the positions, but then just having clean anti-egos. They are not, and what's crazy is they're running at them. But despite that, they're not giving guns away.
One enemy.
They're not suffering too much economic damage whatsoever. That has kept them, as we saw on Icebox, just able to consistently buy.
Okay, another slow start for Sentinels. Definitely don't want to let this one fall by the wayside, though. On Icebox, they gave up the bonus, and it really came back to hurt them. Why is he forced off that line, though? Fault line, Paranoia came out to meet him.
Look at this fast pivot, though, from Billy. They are right into mid. And all of a sudden, there's so much pressure on Zelsis. Oh, Borussia caught on the teleport. What a snap from John!
Tiny stuff. And so the round ends as quickly as it began. Billy commit heavy to Market and are stopped in their tracks.
John has been on one today. So many multi-kills. A bunch of 3Ks on Icebox. The adjustment on the slide from YZ.
Remaining.
Beautifully done. I mean, they are running headlong into Cypher Util in Market, in fairness. Zelsis had paved the way. And that's why he's credited with 4 assists already. So, proper buy now for Billy. Realize perhaps a slower approach might be necessary. Not unlike the one we saw on Icebox, so they pinged across the map a bit. They may just have to bring the tempo down a notch.
They have slowed things down a tad. That dark cover on the right side, they would hope could maybe make someone on SEN think they want to push up mid, maybe go left. They do now break the tripwire. It was there for the majority of the time. The dark cover was obscuring that right side view. Levius has taken B main away from Zekin, who has been happy to face.
He's looking for more. All of BLG are going to be here. Does Zekin have a way of getting out scot-free? Now wants to hang around, lingers for one, relay bolting once more, but Rushi's got the other side covered. He's fortunate to get out. Fast lane deployed. Seconds out of dodge. But BLG want to keep the pressure on, boy. He just doubles back and says, you know, I think I'll take some more. And there's John. Up to 8 kills for those keeping track. And Rusia cowering in the smoke. Spike loose and in front of main. He's tucked on the corner now, at least in the position to punish John, and so he does. Narrate, though, will put him to bed.
Catches him on jump up, but that round is all about Zekin. The utility he was using in main was perfect. This was some beautiful neon play. Almost looked like he was going to get caught on that right side by Ruby. He made the teleport across, but he's able to slide out of the way. Fast lane to
I'm
get
up there.
out.
Don't worry, I'm on the board.
Beautiful. That was smooth from Zekin.
John with license to chirp at his teammates, having amassed a massive 8 kill total so far, and a rolling thunder built up pretty quickly. Love to see those kills funneled into the initiators early. BLG, though, do have Neff ready with an null command. And second, Celsius is playing in the site here.
They use these multiple, reconnaissance, initiator utility pieces to get really close to B main. Second, 2 shots to free and easy kills.
Bang wants a bit of the action too. Nobody's come knocking. Have you heard the good word of our Lord and Savior, the SEN bundle, he says? Back away, still no action. And this is BLG knocked down to a pretty anemic kind of buy. Grouping up for this foray on A. Their last gambit here for this round number 5. TP onto the box and they cover the smoke, but drops off that instantly. And as expected, the spam does come in his direction.
Sentinels, they already have made the pivot here. Just a nice double face to deny anyone for BLG coming through elbow. Bang in the perfect position for that double face. Make it a high-low play on the box.
Blink was smoked up and Bang, yeah, of course, can play from here as Omen. Narrate might want to Prowler out here. Rusia was right in the way.
Catch them.
Still no plant yet. Knight had to get off of it because of the threat of the C's coming in. And finally, though, they do stick it. Oh, not sorry, Knight got off the last second again. Okay, we have a plant. Second thinking about it, but that's awkward as the curtain drops. Celsius had his 6. Backing him up as Rusia and Knight caught out in the open. Levy is now at risk of being turned into Swiss cheese. Realizes he may as well wait to this ball though to see what can be extracted. The answer is absolutely sown. Nothing. Flawless round for Sentinels here, round number 5, tied up nicely. And that bank's starting to build.
That's 2 fully flawless round wins now for Sen. That's got their economy out of control. Second getting the up. Just even there, the silly movement into the fault line so Celsius can get the freest kills. This is going to demand an early timeout call from Coach Bale of BLG.
So I guess it begs the question, what are we seeing so far from BLG?
Yeah, specifically, it is Zekin who is just dominating that area of the map, but he's allowing the aggression come to him, which is sort of a juxtaposition to the way he was playing B main on Split versus Wolves, where he was playing equally as aggressive, but now he's just absorbing that. All right, well, that's a nice way to start the round for YZ. Do you think Coach Bale told him to do that in the timeout? Was that the strat call?
Was it that specific, I wonder? I'm not so sure, but that double stack top mid for Sen is punished. And they've lost their fade util, so they really lack the mechanism with which to get this mid-round info and to set up their re-clears. Now flying blind to some degree, whereas BLG, of course, have their Sovas setting up to clear their way into elbow. And that'll let YZ in.
That deep recon dart will cut off, or rather get the information for that really obnoxious close right angle. So as far as Sen know, BLG could be postured all the way up towards A right now. Second, and Celsius able to collect 2 in this mid-fight.
That's really taken off the pressure after things went a little bit awry early, but Levius has gotten deep here. Trapwire cleared, camera also out of the picture. He realizes there might be multiple guns waiting for him in Boba, and here comes the rolling thunder. Sen, watch the sight right behind him. Zekin's there with the overdrive too and a neural theft.
30 seconds
It's going to tell them everything they need to know that the spike is en route to A.
Maybe hoping to get a bit more with that Rolling Thunder if Billy had already gone into the site, but they'll be content with just isolating another kill to extend the man advantage of this round. They certainly should expect that YZ could be postured in spawn right now. Russia caught with a utility in hand.
Slip past YZ, he just wasn't ready for that. Russia had no advance notice whatsoever. Fast lane thrown up here, paranoia in effect, and YZ's going to wrap around, try and play from alley. Hit with a fault line. SEN know where he's coming from no matter what, and Bang will simply try and defuse. John QT brought to heal, but YZ couldn't do much more. Second says, hey, Gabagool, welcome to Jersey, baby.
Listen up.
Takes another gun out of the game for BLG.
YZ just going for the madman maneuvers at the end. This was a 5v4. This was a free kill from him at the top of the round. Removing that information gate in mid-round from SEN. The decision is to just post up in mid, try and catch Billy on a rotate off that A site. Or maybe just that lurk, if it is Levius maneuvering through mid-late. That was well done from SEN. Billy, they are forced into this round. Rifles and Guardians, why is he going fast? And what a kill on the Bang.
Oh, I'm going to be punished. Bang not in a position. And here comes that null command now. SEN start to scramble on the site, and YZ will run them down. Narrate can barely tuck behind boxes, and YZ comes calling. Makes short work of him.
Oh, you know he's going to go for more. He is not slowing down.
I mean, why not?
Almost out.
Why not? SEN here hopes to maybe play into this double up, but Russia there is watching. Sat behind YZ, giving him a safety net. And of all the players to do this to, Zelsa's here. They're not looking his jovial self right now, as SEN still working on that map deficit. So he will try to slink away. No smart words, no back talk, no sass. It's about getting out with this gun intact.
That's the first time we've seen BLG just go for an A slam. Just play with that neon speed. Overdrive is maxed out in terms of value for YZ. They've been going for a lot of mid-round pivots, which just have yet to work for them. So let's take it back to basics.
And this is likely what they called that timeout for BLG. Fast hit A site behind the null command, get YZ in a position to succeed, deny the stalling util. And obviously turn off any of that sent util. Work is there. Oh man, what is that? Is it a stutter step?
Yeah, he was the slide, but just hits the wall right next to him. It's very awkward for Bang to have to deal with that.
And someone like Narrate can't seize there. Obviously he's suppressed. So all he can do is try and back away and hope to allow a teammate to play off of him from Link, but that was never going to happen.
A lot of pings from Billy over towards this A side, and it looks like they're going to have that flash to get into elbow. Again, just accelerate, teleport, and the speed from the neon to take this space with some haste.
This time, Sentinels respect it. They've got the kind of comp that can make these retakes work with the breach. How's the timing looking for Bang? Less than ideal!
Oh no!
Players caught with slappers only!
With that push down that was well, BLG, they're going to feel like they need to get into this A site right now, so they accelerate the pace and they want to flip the site. They want to play towards spawn. It looks like they're at least
Spike planted.
maybe YZ does.
They know he's there. Sent a ping in this alley area heavily. They're trying to overwhelm him. Russia on the site, sees, thrown out. Here's YZ, and there he goes.
Oh, just too many players.
SEN playing around him. Really needed to overload him player-wise to win that out. Here comes the Hunter's Fury though from elbow, but Zekin's got near to the site. Knight, he's got to be under some pressure. Nepgear sat on the other side of the dark cover. Will spam if he needs to, but does he know when the rate is? There's the spray. Gets it to half, that ought to be enough. Shock Dart comes in, too little, too late. K-Knight unable to avert the round win.
Not mad at the idea from BLG to get that pop flash from Neff so there could be a swing it towards spawn from YZ. Hoping there would be maybe a couple players, but there were all 5 of them. So sadly, he was cooked. Celsius was just ready to dodge that, play a bit of anti on the flash.
One enemy remaining.
From there, it's just overwhelming. So unable to get into that site for free, able to pressure the spike. No one from BLG playing any entrenched positions aside from Rushu, who's caught. BLG, they do have the cash though to keep on buying. They get the spike down, keep it rolling, more attempts.
A slower stance over towards A, and it teases Bang out right into the line of fire.
Dink as well. Frustrating for him.
Now right here doesn't want to overextend, it's just him Trapwire here at Link can be played off of if those reinforcements get there, but this is a perfect use case for this neural theft.
I guess the information as far as Nere being the lone man on site at the moment. Why is that going to connect a relay bolt, but he's going to get it out the way.
Does he know John's there as well? There's actually 2 players in the set. Oh, that is dirty. Zelsus though on the side, large and in charge. Deals with the Neon. John went down, but Nare's still alive. They're over towards Ali's side, but Rushi dinked early in the round at 10 health. They're still able to cause some problems, making waves, and it's on the Vibes Merchant himself. Zelsus knows 3 players are looking for him. Levius will be the one credited with the elim. Tight game after 9 rounds. SEN with a slim lead.
That is BLG just continuing to always push. That was a great molly thrown by Neff that YZ capitalizes off of, pushing into the spawn there. They're forced out into the open. Celsius gets the trade, but then look at this here. Rusha pushing up into that A-link. They have a flank coming from top mid, so even if he goes down, given his low HP, should be an instant trade. It's proactivity across the board.
And that keeps the money train for BLG going. Costly round for them, but they're still able to keep this money pressure on. Now, a bit of a variation. Looking towards mid, YZ's already started to slink his way up, and wait a minute. Testing market very early. Relay bolt forces Zekin out into the open, and there's a hit coming from B-Main at the same time. Zekin caught in the open.
Caught on the jump up, he had to retreat. He was stunned off. Teleport in now from Rusha deep into the site.
Zelsus now not quite aware of what's waiting for him on the other side of this dark cover. Has to pick his spot to perfection. Pings his own location. Neff, though, finds him. Can't see a damn thing, but still knows how to hit that M1 for the boys. And there's a triple swing. SEN have the players lined up. Neff and K-Knight fall by the wayside, and Nare's gotten into Boba.
What awareness.
That's why he's out of the picture. Now becomes a bit more uncomfortable. BLG, loose footing here on this anti-retake attempt, but gonna try and sneak Rushia around. Does he have the look on Narrate? So aware Narrate was been, but not ready for that. Bang. Percent on both sides, tries to break half of the pincer, but doesn't know where to look.
Oh, that post plant is just so well played from BLG. They are everywhere in the walls. Narrate was fortunate to have that intuitive internal timing to pick up the one flank that was coming from YZ, but even at that, you have Levius on the cross. Earlier in the round, that great stun forces Zekin to attempt to retreat. Then you have Neff picking up 3. Hits another great molly, by the way, that forces John into the open. Utility looking excellent from him at the moment. IGL off the team performing. Billy have been able to tie things up. If they win this round here, the final of the half will be a tragic bye for Sentinels.
But this defense side for SEN has descended into an absolute bar fight. Another null command up for Neff. That was a big part of their fast A hit we saw a few rounds ago where Whitey had the overdrive as well. They are set up for something that looks reminiscent. This time Bang doesn't want any early action.
He wants to teleport away. He's been having a tough time with those early fights that Billy have been happy to take. Double face down mid, K-Knight caught completely unaware.
But Billy knew about the double face. YZ spammed that area in a previous round and got a kill. SEN still trusting in that setup with their 2 initiators at the top of the map.
Drop the spike. Smoke thrown over towards elbow. That's from Bang. So YZ does feel a little uncomfortable pressing up. Look at this positioning. Double flash. Rusha wants to swing. Doesn't actually catch anyone. SEN are happy to just play off-site right now.
This insert for Zelsus in mid. I'm pretty sure he hears Levius there and he even sees him. Doesn't want to commit. Here's that null command now to supplement this hit to the A side with the spike already down. Levius just doubles back and knew Zelsus was there, deals with him.
I love this null command. I mean, SEN, they're obviously going to play this for full retake with the man advantage that they had, but it's just going to give so much delay. It's going to reduce the clock by such a significant extent. Here comes the util. Now the retake can come in.
Zekin gets into the side immediately. Across the Sneffer with the Stinger's able to fight him up close, but YZ looking for the Neon. Gets out on the side. It's 2 with the Stinger for Zekin. Now BLG down to just Levius. And he can't see this tap on the spike. Flash there for John to set up a 3rd kill. Sentinels with the patience of ages. Wait the null command out and have that retake util with Zekin getting in there.
They had to move with some serious quickness at the end there. All of the utility had to be picture perfect. And they needed to swing together fast. They were able to do all of that with the clock reduced so significantly.
That kill is massive. Overdrive also earned now for Zekin. John has been delightful this game. 12 and 7 for the breach. And he's got his Rolling Thunder again.
That was such an important round for Sentinels to pick up. Their economy would have been in a dire state for this final one.
Early action today. This time, Bang's been a little bit more careful about those early peaks. Does get some info. Then pulls off. No double stack top mid this round for Sen because John is helping it early.
Oh, and a rare round where Zekin gets incredibly active in B main. He was playing that much more passively earlier, mixes it up.
They know this is coming, White. They know they can rotate early through alley.
And again, this is Sen. They can play this for retake if they want. Bang is actually trying to swing, but it's denied by the relay pull. He is inserted deep in the site, but this Rolling Thunder is ready to get ripped to assist him.
Okay, TP out of that awkward spot for Rushia now. He's able to play that link side. Give another option for Billy. John is biding his time. He's got just the answer for this. And here's Billy. Maladroitly touching down. Bang got dealt with. Rushia's in a bit of a nasty spot, but Celsius just clears him out. Wisey slides back into action now. And there's some presence here from Ali. John's going to get pressured. Flash himself on the angle. Wisey tries to turn it. No swing just yet. Takes two. Tries it again. This time, Sen have the answer. A 7-round defense side. It's very back and forth stuff. Determined to seal their path to the playoffs here and now.
BLG make a go at it later in that half. Sen were dominating, and John QT is putting on a show at the moment.
Both teams leading all out there. Both teams looking for that ticket to playoffs. Stick around. More from Sunset still to come.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
You might have heard him going through.
Out of this chair, more of the grind. Nose to the grindstone gameplay. Sentinel's going to be on the attack side here as we head into a pistol. A pistol that has eluded them so far over the course of this series.
Seeing second with an armor and a frenzy, making him the raid boss. That is going to tell the story for the intentions that he has in this round, which is to go really fast, throw a recon bolt at someone, and just hold down mouse one.
Little jiggles there from Rushia, sees enough. Already, the cavalry are on their way, but look at the spike location. Take note of that. Bang is grouped up here with John, maybe even flash off this to catch a player pushing up. This might be an anti-YZ play, and yeah, he's backed around the corner. Sen don't get the kill off this, but that is the cyber cage popped.
They're going to pivot away back towards mid, just under a minute now on the clock.
Oh, K-Knight saw something there. Late re-explore, switches to the Ghost, gets some good damage. Zekin was the one with the armor.
Wait, the shock dart.
Oh my god! Down to 13. Dangerous now.
Crazy.
Billy, you're not going to let Sen mill around mid. They're going to dig them out if they just linger. And they have.
That entire time, Celsius was getting space over towards a fault line. He wants to swing off. There's so many players to face, but he does even things up, not without taking a lot of damage. Shock dart could be lethal this time. No. Goes wide.
Zekin and Zelsis both low. But still in the game. Nice little paranoia there. Flash Util also disrupting BLG as they try and set up from link. They're going to push the site now. Through the smoke. Bang, tucked in the corner. Everybody comes to him, served up on the silver platter. Bang and boom, Sen get themselves a pistol.
First one in the series to extend the lead. Bang comes to life there. It's been a little quiet for him so far, but he absolutely makes his presence known, capitalizes off the attention that was being paid to his teammates while that retake was coming in.
One enemy remaining. Last
Beautiful
player
stuff.
standing.
The right clicks, tap down at the end on that. That is lovely for control.
Cathartic for Bang. He's often demonstrated his frustration in this game, head in hands type stuff. A little bit difficult for him to get going. This is definitely going to be wind in the sails.
Rush actually going to pick up the Bucky, get in that close corner towards elbow, lethal range.
And a double swing potentially set up for BLG. We're going to work.
Trade it.
Down A.
Oh,
Okay.
that's on the slide.
Yeah, K-Knight being dealt with on the other side is a problem, but BLG have mostly stacked this site. Delacess, spray is good. YZ can't defeat the crosshair placement. And he'll take his ult orb as well.
That flash just an inch away from connecting onto Zelsis, but doesn't quite go far enough. That's going to make things very easy to close this out and get a clean anti-eco for Sen, who, as opposed to Billy, they are buying those heavy upgraded rifles on this round too. Zekken has that Phantom already moving forward, so they can get a nice investment, some nice higher tier weaponry on their bonus round coming up next.
Clean start. This is certainly what Sentinels are looking for. This is the map, remember, that they banned against Wolves. We really weren't sure if they were feeling confident on it. We were surprised to see it taken out of the rotation in their last game. But now reminded, it's called SEN set for a reason. They've not missed a beat on this map by the looks of things. So they'll back away here, secure that crucial 9th round, and get going on the second half.
I am genuinely wondering if that was all a ruse. No, we hate Sunset now. We're banning it first.
I mean,
next series
Heretics are also banned, if I'm not mistaken. There are a couple of teams that are just leaving that one in the draft for the time being.
One enemy remaining.
And there were another team who were great on the map, as a side note.
All right, first buy and a half here for Billy. Maxed out investment against the bonus of SEN. If they win this, they will be running away with this game. It'll look like they're headed towards just a dominant win on their own pick, and we'd be destined for Lotus, which they played very well on yesterday. Just dangerous goings here for Billy. It's not going to get any easier. They need this round bad.
And they've got a pretty early focus towards A. They even pop out defensively, hoping for a timing to catch SEN on the wrong foot. They are playing this much slower. Celsius gets a warning shot there. Nothing that he'd write home about.
That dark cover thrown mid really has Billy thinking that there's going to be a lot of presence shown towards market. That trip is going to further that idea in their minds.
Yeah, just clears it, backs away. And now SEN are waiting. BLG just to peek out, take a risk to get some information, and look to punish them as a result.
This drone could be dangerous. It's broken. Narrate on the swing, wins the duel with the stinger.
And now the neural theft, that's just what they were looking for. Zekken's 2 kills in the previous round, plus ult or pickup gives it this very important ultimate in a situation like this. And they know A is a short-handed site. They know YZ is lingering close to top mid. But do they know that he's
30
this
seconds
close?
left.
Oh, the timing. You can't manufacture that. Narrate's able to respond. That's the second kill for his stinger in this round. This bonus from SEN so far has been smooth sailing.
You just can't help but want to go for more. Rusha's going to get forced a little bit out in the open here. Time is getting so low, but he is shot down. 1 versus 1.
That kill, that's the one that might break the back of BLG in this round, in this map even. Looks like a fault line connected onto K9 in Link. So SEN are knowers.
Last player.
Yeah, they deal with it. What a clean round this has been, and then an opportunity to recover these rifles. Levius knows there's just not a good argument for trying to do anything more in this round, so we'll walk away. And the conversion on the bonus round is massive for Sentinels.
They have so much cash that Neri doesn't even care about trying to recover one of the rifles. He finds it more valuable to see if he can actually kill Levius. And, oh, he will that. And gets the rifle on top of it. Not really going to get any better than that for Sentinels. The economy already out of control. This lead feels insurmountable for Billy.
And look how SEN set the map up so they get best use out of these stingers. Look when Narrate is playing there. That aftershock forces Rushia out of that box corner.
Last player
Really
standing.
stepping up in that round. Wins the initial duel against Neff, gets the re-swing trade onto YZ. He was just hungry to find an advantage to take another fight. Bad buy for Billy now.
Judge
Investing pretty heavily. Yeah, Rusha is invested down to nothing to get this judge posted up deep in B main. This kid does spot him. He sees the barrel.
Yeah, Rushia there. That really is pretty painful for the judge player who does not want to have his cover blown so early. And sorry, Zelsic just blew up your spot.
Oh, and now they know he's tucked in the corner. He has the paranoia. He's stuck. He's cooked. He's cooked.
Caught out by the util combo, and now the B site definitely has a bullseye on it. Prowler out. Because seeing that trap wire, Levius caught in the fault line, but inside the smoke, a degree of safety. He can tuck in this little alcove, but he knows the vultures are starting to circle.
So they want to go even further. They're getting into that backside, trying to post up. Second at a deep position. Levius still there, and he is caught.
Little wayward. That one is nice. Neff drops down. That's a Zekken understands his projectile motion pretty well. So this round, like the alphabet, will end with X. YZ trying to come out with a couple cute swings, but will be put out by Bang.
Chances are getting incredibly slim here for Billy. This lead from SEN is way too dominant at the moment. They are playing so well on this map, as we thought they would, which is like so weird that they banned it yesterday. Maybe we could ask about that later. They really were just
One enemy remaining.
Sandbagging.
pretending. They're just pretending. Bring it out day 2 to get into playoffs. They're looking so good. Zekin is playing so well. Is on the line.
I feel like I've heard that quite a lot over the last few
No,
rounds.
we really have.
The conversion of the bonus with the 2 stinger buy for Sentinels is backbreaking for Billy. This is probably the last best chance wire to get into this second half.
Aggression in B main, which is going to be forced back. They don't want to deal with this spam. Levius wants to pick up the trip, actually, to just adjust that somewhere else into the site to play off of later. Hoping to catch Zekin. Those tripwires can be the bane of the Neon's existence. That hasn't really come into play yet, however.
Obviously, Sunset was changed so that that trip is not unbreakable anymore, but that was a factor of champs last year, so these teams have long since adapted to the changes that Sunset brought way back then.
Rusha is holding a devious angle on main. Oh my god.
Cover going out.
Don't ask me how he saw that. It's going to punish the little tight swing. So no Zekin. SEN have to convert on this 4 versus 5 scenario. 0 point came out in that A direction. Tension really building. They know BLG are on the precipice here. They just need to give them a little push. Nev flashes himself out. Fault line was going to come from anyway. And why is he tries to swing off it? The fault line caught Neon. And now BLG down to 3. Guardian in hand for Rushi has got to stand his ground now. Found the Prowler. And all of a sudden, center out of dodge. They're leaving.
There are 15 seconds left. John is taking the spike all the way through spawn. Can he get...
So much.
Let's see, right?
Seconds
Oh,
left.
okay. Rushi sees this. He knows they're going to get ahead of this.
One
Oh
enemy
my god,
remaining.
this timing is
Just
Bro, I
Just.
all right. I mean, sure, that was...
0.33
That is
seconds
crazy.
remaining. That is the tightest clearance that you could ask for. And BLG, again, it's Levius, just in dismay, has to drag himself onto the site and face the music. For Sentinels, it's a cacophony of cheers.
I can't believe he knew that timing. He had me sweating bullets. All good. All good. Center on a run. 5 rounds in a row. First kill converted by that disgusting shot. Made ultimately irrelevant. I don't think Neff actually got that flash banked far enough back to connect on the swinging players, or they were just a little bit out of the way, weren't wide enough. A little bit hard to tell, but regardless, it didn't connect onto him. And he was forced out of that position due to the utility.
It's round number 18, and it could be the last of the map.
They are getting dominated right now. SEN, as we expected, have this map at the top of their pool. That is going to make them so dangerous. They've replaced Fracture, which they didn't like, with one of their home maps. John opening things up already, collecting a kill top mid. I think Neff might have just peeked out by that dark cover.
Smoke, yeah. Rushia, once again with the Guardian in hand, has always opted for this when the money has been there. We just saw how deadly he is with a single shot. Now, Narrate's selling this, obviously. It's not always normal to have your Fade be that lurking aspect, so he's going to rejoin with the rest of the team. Mid is open for them. Market has some architecture that needs to be dismantled. There's the trap wire. That'll be dealt with nicely. Levius not in a position to play off of it. And now SEN, Simmer. As things start to come to a boil, a swing of this smoke now. See Zekin break the crosshair placement and deal with Levius. SEN had the numbers overwhelming that sole defender of the site. And YZ, all-star YZ has to salvage. That's a good start. Rushia down, no big damage done. And Noisy eventually will be dealt with. Electrifying play from Zekin in a 4-piece to secure the equalizer map. Sentinels are far from done.
Defensive side against Wolves the other day, going up 9-3. Typically, the somewhat less favored side, especially when we're going back to this kind of old meta, old Lotus look that's just integrating Vice, who has been unbelievably powerful as a mainstay Sentinel on this map. I like that Billy have gone for this. I think it's a great comp right now, and it's always fun to see Zekken back on the agent that he made his name with years ago.
It looks dynamic, albeit slow to start in that Wolves series. That was not the story for Sentinels on Sunset, not by any stretch. All right, here Prowler on the corner. Zekken plays off of it stunningly. That's Knight down. Sees to follow up with the nade. Already, though, BLG have pulled the plug on that big foray into tree, though Nev is unsupported.
Just praying to find some kind of timing through door, but that is being watched by not just one player, two. This shear is about to be activated, double push past it. They want to fight these players. Nade is going to do some damage. Swing out from Levius. Can
That was
they
the spike.
this?
Down
Oh, he just headbutts that bullet. Narrates handing out 3 haircuts. And again, Billy have Nev walk up in the tree, which traditionally, with his Vice comp, you see Zelsa sometimes go set up his Arc Rose and his util there, just headlong into it.
God, that is sick from Zelsa's second round of that reaction time. And Neff just feels so
Spike
pressured that he
down
has to
A.
get even more
One
space towards A
enemy
to allow the team to go for a
Did I
pivot
get
back
fired?
after they lose that initial player.
Thank you for saving me.
Zelsa's carry.
Hey, and if there was ever to be a map where we get a Zelsa's carry game, well, first of all, he was playing very intelligently back on Icebox. He was great there so far in this series. But Vice on Lotus early this year is where he had some of his best games we've seen from him, if not his best all year up until this point.
Delta's this time at the seaside. And they're trying to chase Billy off this mound position, and Zekken's inching forward. Here comes a hit. Razorvine comes out, going to be avoided by Wisey. Extreme low. Wisey! It's not a molly, but close enough. John down though. Rushi's having to deal with him with that classic, and Levius has got some sharp shooting to do. What is this? Dominating.
What is
Sentinels on
happening?
that B side. Utter pandemonium. And Zelsa's here, of course, is a beat behind the action. Rushia makes the turn, sees him come.
And even at that, he gets the dig onto him, double face. Zelsis, there's no hope.
Okay, well, welcome to the show. What? Everything's made up. The points don't matter. What? It's a MasterCard Thrifty in the second round for Billy. Bizarre.
Someone said, Wisey, nade yourself. He just jumps into it in the corner. What is happening? How are they able to convert this? The shots from Levius were
For my next
disgusting.
trick, I'll catch my own nade.
Look at this from Zekken. He satchels out in one tap. Narrate can't trade. I think he had a
One enemy
bulldog.
remaining.
He can't see, man. This is ridiculous. I mean, listen, you're hoping when you're a Sentinel, you play B. Maybe you cut off a rotate. You get someone maneuvering towards C. You're usually not getting 3 with the ghost on your eco.
The third while you are blinded, by the way. Well, that didn't make a lot of sense, but that's fine.
Oh my God. All right, Zelsis is alone towards A right now. Playing in the dark cover, hoping someone may take a little stroll into it, but that's not going to be the case. Wisey timings it, though, to get in the next one with this judge.
Got John's weapons from the previous round, and he's decently set up for this, but Razorvine's going to slow him up. Roshi, though, not so fetid. He's able to push ahead. Make short work here of Sentinels into the grind. They've become mulch here on Lotus.
Well, they were stacked up on the proper site, but BLG were just overwhelming with the numbers, with the superior weapons, not really able to get anything done at all. Being left on his lonesome, probably just going to eventually perish to the spike. Looked like SEN were just going to carry all of that momentum they had from such a dominating performance on Sunset into Lotus. On defense again. It's what they did to Wolves just the other day, but Billy are right back in the game.
I mean, you can't account for a bizarre Thrifty like the one we just saw. That's definitely thrown things for a bit of a loop. And that individual talent on Billy, it's really easy to spot.
It feels like, you know, throughout this series, maybe, I guess, save for Sunset, what any player on this team has just pulled out some magic individually. as far as being a shooter with the mechanics, you know, specifically on Icebox.
One enemy
Even the guys
remaining.
who had less kills total when Rusha and Wisey were taking over, Levius was still finding moments to hit some snappy multi-kills. Neff has been playing well. All right, full buy here for Sen after what was looking like a great start. Then went disastrous on round 2. Let's see if they can wrangle control of this defensive side. A couple players trying to get out towards Mound. But Ben can take a forward position, the teleport away.
Bang wants this Mound fight until he doesn't. Paranoia comes in, forces him out. He's able to TP away and just get up onto the side.
They don't have any utility left. Wisey already used that nade, so no real pressure can be further applied to Bang when they know he's been routed into Bend.
Not ready yet. Good
Flash
hit.
from Levius is going to get the
Retrieving
information that Zekken has pushed up towards B main. Someone is playing close. In the meantime, you have Neff taking a lot of space towards A. You know, already you're seeing some differences on this attack side from BLG compared to Wolves, where Neff is able to take a lot of space. Spring wasn't really able to do that the other day.
But here's the look. Wisey, no blast packs here, so no fast hit. Behind the Prowler though, plenty of util left for K9. Zekken just trying to play his life as well as he can here through Arpa, but that Snakebite is going to make it, in theory, a little bit more challenging. Just bank a nade here. Response, oh, the Seize as well. Rushia though is able to get clear of the blast. And that combo fizzles.
BLG can't take too much forward space, but they have a couple players in Baby Door right now. Things could get awkward. Sen can dump so much utility on them right now.
They do. Rushia near side and Zekken with one paltry point of health is able to get his, and Narrate found double. Levius is squeezed up on the side. Rushia is still there, trying to crouch, trying to hide away, trying to live. Instead of having none of it. Bouncing back into pole position. A B-side retake. 2 guns still to carry out of the round.
That was a real opportunity for Levius, but the spray was haphazard on that entry from Heaven. I mean, BLG do a good job getting into the light side. Yeah, you know, they get the spike down, but they just can't get forward. There's no real opportunity to do so. The option there was we just have to take the timing to swing out of this smoke behind the wall together rather than in front of the wall. But Sen were overwhelming in that situation. You know, I think earlier as well, Neff was feeling more confident to take a lot of that space off A, because what we saw on defense was Narrate, Bang. That was a duo that was pressed up on Rubble together, but when you know Bang is at Mound, it feels like, oh, this might be my opportunity to go. It's going to be a bit lighter, but it's not like this round. Sen have 3 players ready to go. Nade, Seize, caught right onto Rusha. He has to teleport to safety.
Took some damage off that though, didn't he? Just a lick though. Zekken is able to get back. Wisey dealt with. Bang has the TP out of what could have been a pretty hostile situation, and so the Rubble fight goes very poorly for Billy. There's a pause in the action almost, as it sees nade combo came in. And from now on, Billy have to account for that threat. I have to TP across to Rubble, maybe not up.
Narrate able to get so much value playing around that tree position with the Guardian. Eventually, I'm sure he's going to try to pick up the Odin as well. What can BLG do here? As Sen are more than content to just play this nice and slow and go for the retake when they need to.
Zekken sees is coming. K9 attempts a wide swing, but
Spike
Zekken
down A.
looking comfortable. Strips Neff
Not
down
ready
to
yet.
16 health. Levius has already earned that Steel Garden. That spike is dropped just outside of Baby Door. It's going to be a very difficult
30
recovery
seconds
mission.
left.
This round looks like
One enemy remaining.
destined to come to a slow crumble for BLG, who will have enough to continue the pressure, buying up on the next round fully. But this is well done from Sen. They've been able to get to a couple of crucial ultimates for the next buy round too. They've got the
10 seconds
Showstopper and
left.
the Nightfall, so they have many tools to use to try and extend their lead.
We've seen the variations from Sen on this defense side. Quite often the action is where Bang himself is.
Flash trap
They
destroyed.
fight over at Rubble. The Omen's there. They make an early foray for Mount Control. Bang is also in position. So they've been varying, moving across the map. Here's this Rubble fight. I see, yeah, TP back, of course, towards him by Bang, and he's able to punish Zekken.
One enemy
Sits and
remaining.
waits for them to step on up.
Gotta say as well, Sen so far were barely into this Lotus Mount, but man, they've gone for a lot of Season 8s. That one back rubble is pretty standard, but they used it in B main as well very early on. I think that was on the pistol, so that's going to cause a lot of concern that at any point, if you're a Billy player, you could be getting hit by that usual combo. They want to get this early A control again. It's just that aforementioned duo of Narrate and Bang playing towards Tree. They are often just in tandem on this A site, playing together, controlling that space.
You're going to see this duo of John and Zekken start to favor the A side of the map as it was a more passive showing from Sentinels early. But Billy have decided just to make their way towards this C side. It's just going to be the Vice and Util occupying that side, and Zelsis, as a result, playing safer here.
SEN have gone for a full re-clear through rubble. In the meantime, Billy slowed down at the moment by some of that defensive utility, waiting out the cloud. They're going to have to burst in. Ultimate from YZ. Zelsis is out in the open, and he's caught. Traded, though.
That sheer wall, though, is in play. This is slowing Billy down. Now, though, it drops. They're able to push here over towards Bend.
There are going to be so many ultimates involved in this retake. Zekken can get back in with the showstopper with this Nightfall at the same time. Steel Garden, though, hoping to make it so that SEN can't scale off of their own ultimate.
It has definitely slowed Sentinels down. Not confident, of course, without their primaries to push him, but Zekken doesn't need it. Oh, that's awkward. He'll take Rush here with him at the very least. Odds are evened. John steps up. 2 players here out of Waterfall for Sentinels, and they see the shoulder of Night. The double high-low stack, though, is tough for them to break. John knows Neff is around the corner, and he doesn't have the health to withstand an engagement. Billy, it's a scrappy fight where they occupy that seaside and hold on.
Both showstoppers just earning trades. Zelsis does good work to go 1-for-1 against YZ. That Steel Garden was the antidote to that retake, stacked with ultimates for SEN coming through. And Rush is able to also get Zekken in time before the rocket connects. Highly important, and then it's just a nice little triple sack up face. Everyone on Billy ready to fight together to close things out.
This time it's a look towards B. Viper's Pit on C already laid down, so Sentinels adamant about locking this part of the map away from Billy's purview. They're not fully convinced though.
Look at this investment for YZ. He's going for the operator right now on attack. Just trying to post up on some of these angles towards B, but that Viper wall will keep him at bay temporarily. This certainly implies that Billy want to maybe slow down the game. I mean, Zekken is just caught spamming through with a stinger. At least Bang there for the trade back rubble.
Mark, though, has to get out.
Here.
And for SEN, happy enough with a result like that. Zelsis has his own Steel Guard now, could be pretty effective here. Push comes to shove at the big side of TP4 from Rushi, already gets himself there. Zelsis waits. Spike loose, and oh, that's a desperate scenario here for BLG, but why is he popping himself up? What an upshot! Narrate peers on him, but Levis is able to find the trade, and again it is down to John. John in a 1 versus 2. John who had to leave his Viper's Pit and try and salvage the round at B.
That is bold, but necessary from YZ. Finding that trade, and from there, Billy maintain it, trading further, getting this advantage, putting all of the pressure on John on a round where both teams economically have so much at stake. Time has dwindled so much due to this heaven rotate.
John's not going to see much here. He has a snake bite, and Rushi just opted for a timing. He knew he had a contingency with his teammate in Baby Door, so goes for it and puts that one to bed a little bit earlier. Billy, 2 rounds in a row, stringing them up. How for SEN this gets complicated. They're definitely going to be forced down to a low buy.
Spike down.
Kind of an awkward first engagement. Zelsis does a great job isolating one fight. YZ goes for the most mental trade attempt possible and pulls it off. Coach Kaplan is feeling forced to call a timeout at this point. Certainly cannot blame him. That was a round of the utmost importance for the half.
I'm glad you highlight that. What to roll with.
Out of that timeout, SEN have 4 players ready to go to fight towards A. And on a scrappy buy like this, where you have some stingers, if Zelsis finds an opportune moment to use that Steel Garden, that could be enough to win them the round. They have full A control, and with all of that noise being made, easy call for Billy to get this free B site.
Now, those stingers now looking a little bit awkward at the periphery of the map. AP, I mean, ultimate forward from Russia in the B. They were convinced they'd have that one dead to rights, and they weren't wrong. SEN here have to look for a way to employ Stingers, Sheriffs, and this singular Bulldog. Line up for Zekin. Comfortable double swing that outwits him. Mind you, that operator has been maintained, even though YZ went down previously, so there should be a comfortable end to the round for Bilibili. They've got all players up. They've still got util to spend Sentinels. Probably don't want to feed them too much more old economy.
We'll say that Bilibili would love to hang on to these guns. They still have a couple players at really low cash. Oof.
Okay.
Nice snap from K-Knight. Finally able to get on the board in this round.
Taking stock of things, though. We had that timeout from Sentinels. They had a chance to sort of consider how they build into this gun round. 3 defense side rounds, acceptable, probably. Need to go big here.
Yeah, they index heavily and just going for that 4-person rubble fight, praying that that's where Bilibili are going to be headed, but it ends up being a very standard situation on Lotus Attack where you have one player kind of floating towards that A main. You hear, wait, they're using like 3-4 different pieces of utility. All right, just go elsewhere. That's very common to be occurring on this Lotus Attack. Why is he still playing with this operator?
Where are you?
This is definitely an inflection point in the first half, round 9. See, Sentinels finally get some rifles under their belts, but there's that operator punishing these contact peaks.
Go get it.
It ended up being a 1-for-1.
There's been a lot of early trades in this half, just like that.
Look
in
at
the
where
meantime,
John is playing.
Poison
So
orb
far
emitting.
back.
Poison's
picking
up.
up a lot towards this A site, but again, you know, they can just feel fairly content to play this for the retake when they still do have that steel guard and have the potential to collapse into that site off the back of it. But now SEN want to get back in, entrenching the site, anchoring positions now that they're doubled up. They have the read on the situation. Obviously, Bilibili making a lot of noise. They want to execute SEN. Are getting over here. Narrate. No one to trade onto him. Finds the advantage for SEN.
And that was all before a Nightfall came down. Sentinels take the risk of being susceptible to that in order to have a player posted forward to get an easy kill. Now the momentum starting to peter off. YC has to just skirt around that razor vine and, yeah, trigger the shield wall. Needs to try and find a way to use this op.
30
How
seconds
far
left.
will this madman push with the op in the waterfall?
Has he heard this? No, there's a player
way.
making noise behind him.
No way!
Okay, rewarded and not punished as 2 players from Sentinels quickly try and spring to attention. No Halls presence for the defenders. YZ is going to be permitted to push up here again.
If he catches his second kill right now, the Nightfall could certainly be enough to win this round.
Bang wanted to check the site. It's unclear if he got any information about where YZ
Face
is
your
set up.
fear!
Okay, the Nightfall belatedly
Onto
hit
the
from
wall.
Bilibili. Look at how decayed they are. It's easy.
Player
Night
standing.
able to spray 2 of them down. Narrate has to challenge YZ here. Blast pack to try and disrupt. Shorty in hand. He knows exactly where his assailant would come from, and YZ drops Narrate like a sack of potatoes. A 2v3 clutch. He's in an awkward spot where the op still converts.
He is just a fearless maniac on that round. The push into waterfall, adjustment to kill Zelsis, gets the free sight for the team. And by team, I mean K-Knight. He's the only one that
Last
he gets
player
over there.
standing.
What a win. What a win. Brutal for Sentinels. They're going to force into this next round too when we get back into things, and it's left them with just a stinger for Zelsis. Not ideal, a lot of light armors.
And this time they're more than happy to bully their way out into rubble, Bilibili, and there's nobody here. It's another round where SEN only have John on this side of the map, and he's playing very far back.
That poison cloud going to go forward to cover up the view from the stairs. Intentions of going through tree right now. SEN, they're trying to be fast on the pivot. They've got Zekin here. Narrate wants to get back sight again. Assist John when the pressure is coming in, when he's blinded up by the paranoia.
It expires quickly enough. The YZ's brought down by Narrate. He's watching it from that high ground. John gets absolutely saved. That's the one with the op here. Having to peer out from tree. SEN are not going to offer up any freebies. Look where that spike is. That is going to be an extremely oppressive scenario that Bilibili have to fight into. And Dev has to do it by pushing up with the operator.
This round should simply be unwinnable for Bilibili. There should not be any way.
Sick round from Narrate. Wyatt, he was the standout. Sentinels in their last
Seconds
game.
left.
Won't be able to do more than 3 here, but should be enough. Okay, all of a sudden, John brought down. Viper's pick going to be deployed by Neff, but he still needs to plant Steel Garden. But he has a shorty inside the pit. Not the worst scenario for him. And he'll wait this out, maybe look for a timing to swing out of the wall, and he's found bang! Oh my god. Quells what would have been a ridiculous uprising from that solo Viper. And Sentinels, they've managed to claw their 4th round, but it's another costly one. And they get to stabilize the economy, but Narrate here is able to find Corey, protect John.
Spike down A.
Second picked up the op at the end of the round.
Oh, he's missed. Oh my god, you could see that clutch happening.
I have the same.
Oh my god. Like I said,
There goes the cup.
unwinnable, but Neff made me believe for a second.
I mean, he commits that solo Viper's
Team over their win against Wolves. He got them back into the game with a crucial clutch on split. Phenomenal play
mine.
from him, and he is picking it up for them right now to try and get into playoffs.
Billy have reinvested in that op as you speculated, Wyatt. And yeah, early looks at 8.
Bring them
Narrate has
down.
come back here with the Odin.
Brown doesn't spot wisely, just ends up going a little bit short, so he wants to wait for this dark cover to fall, hoping that someone is going to go for the common jump peek, and it does happen, but Narrate was not too overexposed. Often players do it more towards the middle, but he was a little bit off to that left side, and I think that saved his life.
Why is he unable to react quickly enough?
Wall trap.
Okay, shield wall to dissuade a push off of the C site. And that's actually where Zekken is set up. He does want to try and put himself where the action is. But whether that means he'd actually push off from C in the direction of the attackers remains to be seen. There's Rubble presence, the threat of the Odin. All of the util coming out from Bang and Narrate here have definitely slowed BLG up. So Wisey opts to try and hold a B line. Viper Wall will cut him off. Still guarded.
He's going to get that C site free. Do SEN try and actually pull back in here? They have a few players
30
near it,
seconds
but
left.
wow, look at this pivot from Billy to have to go through the thorns. Bay wants to swing off of it. Trades coming through, but now the site is taken. Spike should be able to be planted, but SEN have other ideas.
Now Wisey decayed very, very low. Sentinels though don't really follow up on the Nightfall instantly. Simply choose to get in position.
Yeah, cut off by some of those mollies, the thorns on the ground.
Planted.
Nate going to do some
Taylor.
damage tonight, and it actually nets the kill.
Decker now with the showstopper. Stopped in his tracks. Wisey with an op shot now. He's in the thick of things. In the heart of the maelstrom, Wisey wants to push up with this op. Oh, are you kidding me? Devastating impact from Wisey. Almost an ace from him, but Delsus is able to interfere.
He gets the damage through the wall. Zelsis down to 10. A little bit of regen, and he's going to get out of there. No cash left. Needs to save this. Wisey is a menace.
And again, it's just absurd. Operator pushes onto that B side like we saw those few rounds ago where he saves it for Billy. YZ with a masterclass on subverting expectations. SEN still struggling to adapt to this duelist.
Seeing in that instance, too, some of the power that even on attack Vice provides, where it's a denial
Spike
of
planted.
the floods. Those thorns being forward made it so that no one could really scale or try to fight off of the Nightfall that was used.
Makes sense going up.
And I mean, shot onto second, denying the showstopper is outrageous. And then somehow he tops it a mere few seconds later by pushing it to heaven solo and gets a collapse.
John never had a chance to get his gun up.
He will never slow down. He is ruthless as a duelist. Intentions for Billy to take Mound early here.
4 defense side rounds is going to feel uncomfortable for Sentinels, but it is enough.
YZ now just one orb away from getting the showstopper.
Delsus here operates off his own util. That's Levius down. Oh, this boy! He's mad! Zelsis got the dog inside him.
Remaining. Spike down.
Takes 3
C.
just as BLG hoping to swoop in and get a nice 8-round halved. He has thrown the stick in the smoke, so they've gone over the handlebars.
Damn, that player genuinely looked angry. Some fury on the defense there from Zelsis. He looked so locked in. It's all on Rusha in a near impossible situation. Zekken still has Satchers to get back in. He can just send it, distract, while everyone else will collapse onto him. They have plenty of options here.
Bangnair's having to deal with him in the end. So all things considered, respectable from Sentinels, but at moments you've noticed them struggle with the tempo and just with some of the individual inclinations of Billy. A very tight half here and everyone getting locked in. You mentioned it. Looked like Angie Zealous there on that seaside, looking to try and stop BLG in their tracks. It's been quite the series so far, and it promises to be an explosive finale, so stick around. One of these teams will be headed to playoffs on the other side of this map. Play out has generally been favored as the defenders get spread fairly thinly across these three sites. But it all comes down to how you can capitalize on that distribution of defenders. Let's get rolling, folks. Here's your round number 13. Sentinels on the attack.
Ball's over the top for this duo of SEN to work forward on C, but when the orb is tapped, they want to swing off this paranoia, presumably crunch through the door even. These two players, Bang and Zekin, could be in real danger. Here it comes.
Like the trap. Roshia, though, cut down by Zekin, who didn't think there'd be a follow-up, and Levius is there.
He's pushed up so far that he was, luckily for him, able to dodge that paranoia. Now SEN, they are pivoting towards this A side where BLG have drifted. They are in the right positions at the moment, giving up C. Neff weak though, backside, going to be challenging to anchor against the Horde.
Pretty quick moves though from Sentinels up onto the A side. No upper presence yet for the defenders, and Neff gives as good as he gets.
He'll take one for one with that low HP.
K-Knight now straight to drop. Here comes that attack side Viper Ball now. It's a little bit annoying. YZ can't see past it. K-Knight might need to be activated to disrupt a potential plant. So the paint shells had the intended effect.
Some players getting weak.
K9 flag! Right-click City!
Last player standing.
And they are both very low, below 60.
30 seconds
Sells him
left.
with the sheriff, but K-Knight thought he had him. Zaddy is home.
Zelsis is determined to win. You can see it from his disposition on his face. Since that last round of the first half, he is getting serious. This is not funny, whimsical Zelsis. He is here to win. He is hungry, especially for this team. After that disappointing finish that they had at the first international this year in Bangkok, they want to come back and show exactly what they're made of.
Why are you going here? Why are you going here? What the?
Find you.
Ooh, cut that one off at the right time. Two pistols here for Sentinels on this map. And it's an A side that is utterly bereft of defenders.
In the first half, SEN won the pistol, but lost in this exact situation. If they hadn't, we could be looking at a very different game. Billy were able to gain so much early momentum for their economy off of that.
Okay, Zelsis.
In danger, just wants to stay alive. Can't.
Oh, they're chasing.
Even though he is the player with just the sheriff.
Finally, I think Sentinels have been able to throw enough at Billy to cause him to simmer down.
And that's an easy call now for the rest of the team to just get into the A side. Zelsis feeling all of that pressure. Should be light on the opposite side of the map.
They are so patient about it. Here's a plant. John gets it down. Billy playing second fiddle, just trying to catch up. And now without much more than Frenzy Ghost, Neff will remain tucked here most likely. This would allow the game to become even. Narrate would love to get something for this Outlaw. Some little ROI farming. And he might get something from Neff. Oh, buddy. Neff, though, doesn't overcommit. Narrate doubles back to the angle. And will handle the interloper. Oh. If only just.
The right click almost got him.
Spam here, Zekin says, okay, I think there's something to be had here, and he's right. 3 kills with the Stinger. Only Levius to survive, only to perish to the blast. And now, we have ourselves an even game.
Second would have loved to have gone for a little bit more. The showstopper on the attack side with his traditional Lotus look. Very important.
Here with my copy.
Close call, that one.
Remaining.
Billy, though, again, the pistol came down to a 1 versus 1. They sort of knew they'd be here after that clutch was lost.
Now can SEN convert on their own bonus. They are ready to fight out towards this A side early. It's light from Billy. Tucking to the box is YZ right now. and actually getting a lot of reinforcements through B. Look at this, Billy, they want to fight it, and Bang knows he needs to run.
Sentinels got out in time though. Billy want to chase this, but just how far will they go? Not as far as lobby apparently, and now the look is over towards B.
And SEN want to accelerate elsewhere, get into the site. Do they really try to get into B? No, now they certainly cannot, but maybe they'll pick up the pace, continue that, getting through door into the C side, but they'll
There's a
have
sheer
to
wall.
contend with that sheer, yeah, with this setup from Levius.
Doggedly, Billy been defending, and Narrate's not able to trigger the sheer wall. That is still in play. SEN are going to run low on time here.
That is painful. Orb is now being recovered onto Zekin, 2 away from the showstopper, 50 seconds on the clock. They have no map control at the moment.
They have though. Look at the util on Billy's side. It's really limited. Just that smoke from Rushia. There's a horn for Knight. They've drawn it all out, but at what cost?
So now with the wall down, you do have Rushia with that Guardian on this A side, just jiggle peeking.
30
Now,
seconds left.
Calling it.
He knows what the situation is. Wisely, does he try to timing this? He goes through the molly!
Vulnerable enough. He's too easy to bring down, and Sentinels here have gotten exactly what they were looking for. Drawing Billy out of the defensive lines and straight out into the sunlight.
Spike planted.
And now Billy realized, man, we were so active, so good at responding to these early probes. And then they overheated just a little bit, losing to the SEN bonus. Not just losing to the bonus, Wyatt, but allowing it to be a flawless round for the attackers. That is backbreaking.
They maintain their focus over towards that CB side. Really weren't able to take advantage of the low clock on account of it just being Rushia towards A. As you mentioned prior in the round too, just extracting all of that defensive utility out of Billy. To the extent they just had a dark cover. That was it.
There's not much more that Rushia could do except peek out, see what was happening. They couldn't hang.
It's just great calling from SEN. They work the entire map, get back to that light A side in time. Worked so well. Credit to John. Wisely bold in that situation. This just feels like he needs to help Rushia. Hopefully the attention will be on his teammate. But John was ready for that. And it's made all too easy with the vulnerable.
See, things are pretty restrained. You mentioned it. Zelsa's looked at
Here.
and already Sentinels here grouped on his A side. Pretty standard. We have Zelsa's obviously watch C. He's got the Outlaw in hand to punish a push-up. BLG, do they want this fight again? Zekin's got hands. Rushia finds out the hard way. YZ doesn't fancy any of it. He's only playing with a classic here. Such a weird assortment of guns.
Yeah, it is bizarre, right? I mean, Neff, yeah, unfortunately only just setting up the 700. Maybe these rifles can make something happen. Matter of fact, both of them have looked like intentions of maybe pushing out a B, but that's not going to be the case for the defense. SEN have inserted Narrate over towards Rubble. Potential fight against YZ where he's highly favored. Far superior gun.
And they're going to use him to try and sell this.
Yeah, they even throw a dark cover towards stairs, and it's working.
Oh God, they're all departing from
They
C.
have fully bought it.
Billy, I mean, they can't take too many risks. If they think there's a stack opportunity, they've got to take it with these weaker weaponry.
And YZ, he just didn't know while that Viper's wall was up how many players actually crossed it.
We'll get this at least. Oh my goodness, guy! Eyes in the back of his head. Very timely swing there from Narrate.
Now, that would have been their way into this round, into a realistic retake, but now and after that, it is certainly not the case.
Now just happy to post up here in this seaside. Zekin challenging Waterfall. K-Knight forced off the line and low with a Phantom in hand. He likely doesn't want to wager it. And another flawless round on the horizon here for Sentinels.
We are right back to saving. K-Knight going
Spoke too soon.
Get away, Narrate. Just obviously on the hunt. This economy for SEN is out of control.
And so it goes. Sentinels get that magic 9 rounds. And again, this next one, a real inflection point. Another gun snapped up at the end of the round. Celsius' weapon.
More important that it wasn't K-Knight dying. It was Billy who really needed to save those there. are able to get away with it. Nera just turns at the perfect time. I mean, like I said, totally different round if that isn't caught. And now, finally, we've gotten to the point for Billy, where this operator that we were talking about so much on attack is economically viable to be picked up for YZ. This is going to have to be where the half changes for BLG, where it's going to feel like they are absolutely down and out. They've committed everything they've got, and it pays off for YZ.
That's exactly what they're looking for. The contact move up on B main. No more Vice in the map for Zen. Non-committal though in this early approach to the round. They had the spike left behind. They might feel the need to re-clear a little bit that B area before they head elsewhere.
Toxin screen down.
Prowler thrown out from K-Knight towards B. Doesn't spot anyone at SEN, silently working their way towards Mound when they had been posted up. When they go for this execute, you could see a world where, you know, Zek and Satchel's in, the rest of the guys get cut off by a sheer wall. Rusha's ready with a paranoia. This could get dangerous. They're ready to anchor BLG.
Second bounce on in, Rushia down, tries to play it safe, getting over towards the site. But Levis is good for 2. Narrade's going to be stuck here, Decayed down. His position known and noted. K-Knight and Levis in no hurry as John can't even get into the site with the spike in hand. An easy cleanup and a great use of the Nightfall there from K-Knight.
A great counter ultimate. They do a nice job getting in, and it did kind of play out as speculated, where that sheer wall not getting procced earlier does kind of awkwardly cut players off. It does force Bang to feel like, wait, I need to teleport up there, I need to get in. And then he's just out in the open.
Bang, yeah, trying to get up on that wall, right?
Catch them. Spike
Just didn't have the opportunity to get the gun out quick enough, actually take the fight. Perfect ultimate usage there. And the op paid off. Everything they wanted to do in that round worked perfectly. YZ's going to mix up the positioning and go towards Mound. All of Sentinels have taken rubble on the opposite side of the map.
Rushia has to play safe, passive, and it's Bang brought down. A couple steps ahead of the rest of his team, but Narrate at least able to find the trade. Billy responded to this quickly. It's a Prowler looking to check that A side proper as Elsus gives the Orb a tap. I think he takes some hits there. Tries to back up. Neff forced away by the snake bite though. Here's a steel guard for the attack side to pave the way for a plant.
K-Knight had intentions of retreating for a while, and the steel garden ensures that. Billy having to go for the full retake. Second is posted up so close.
Sees the Prowler now. They know, and they make use of that information to get rid of Zekin, but John is there to find the trade. Nightfall for the attack side now, and Knight doesn't know what's coming. Neff with a wrap from Drop. John finds his third for the round, and YZ's op is not the ideal tool for this job. Sentinels back in front. Back with a burst of confidence. A fast A kit plays out the way they drew it up.
The Narrate's Nightfall that time is used to perfection. Catches onto all of the players, retaking through heaven. Second absorbs some of that. Backs off. John swings up when they're dealing with Zekin. Gets the trade on the rope, and the rest of the players are pushing forward. They're all caught by that well-placed ultimate.
They're still, Sentinels though, going to have to contend likely with a YZ op buy. First it was a push out of B main, got Celsius. The previous round it was off of the C side. What will it be now?
He's over at a position with a couple other players. All of that defensive sentinel utility continuing to be littered across that C site from Levius. Dark covers being cycled as well. YZ, how aggro does he want to get? He's going to post up deep. Does John try to take this space? I mean, surely a contact push back into main would be a free kill for YZ. You have to imagine.
Do you ever think to re-clear this spot of the attackers? It's so close to their side of the map. It's shoulder peek.
Smart. That's
John
smart.
is lucky to get out of that one alive. Limping away. It still keeps his weapon in this round.
And knows they've given up so much of that positioning that was possible for YZ. Gets away with his life. Sentinels at 45 seconds are pivoting back towards that BC area, kind of keeping their options open as they're activating that door. The sheer wall is still here. They've had trouble dealing with that on some of these prior C executes. It's been tough for them to manage.
Not the right weaponry to sort of follow up on that haunt. Sheer wall is still a problem. Sen don't have a way to safely clear it, to trigger it. They've got to go B.
Not even very much damage actually done. We are down to 20 seconds right now. Second satcheling in, a couple players on defense. Rusha gets the first in the span through. John was just so weak.
And there's not much more to gain from this now. Zelsis
10
heading over
seconds
towards
left.
the seaside, but that shield wall's going to get come up either way, and Neff will be
Enemy
waiting.
remaining.
Narrate steps up, and this is
Down.
tit for tat stuff, round for
Everything I
round.
wanted.
Sen and Billy exchanging haymakers to try and close the map.
Keeping each other honest, that BLG round was critical. After reinvesting into the operator, that would have been presumably worth 2. That would have put BLG on the eco. But they were in the right places in the right times defensively. They do a good job nullifying the attempt from Sentinels to get back into that B site. Zekin in the air, shot down. Rusha ready to go.
He's big. Billy have found their niche in this game. Wisey has carved it out, kill by kill with this operator.
In terms of the ult economy, look at BLG. They have that Steel Guardian, but they're so close to 3 other ults. And realistically, the only thing that Sen can have on top of the From the Shadows, which isn't all too viable unless you're going for one of those fast, deep teleport executes, is maybe John can get a kill, get the spike down, and use that pit to win out a post plant. But even at that, you use the pit, you have to stay in it, easy Steel Garden. Sure, maybe you have the shorty in it, so there are counterplays to the counterplays that are available if we get into a situation like that. But as of right now, it's Billy again, posting up, taking A control with that op line deep.
There.
This time, Sen have to have a plan for this. They've got to, yep, here you can see, they've got to be expecting Wisey to be on this line. First is the Prowler. Wisey's far enough away that it actually doesn't need to be shot at. Now the second wave, Paranoia thrown in. This is awkward. Zekin not affected by it, but the rest of Sentinels are. Now though, time to burst forward. Wall comes down, and so does Wisey. That's the op out of the game. Russia has to ult from the shadows to TP back to his spawn for safety, and that opens this side of the map up for Sentinels.
Zekin is taking so much space. Rusha wants to get back there, but completely misreading the timings that were available to Sen to scale.
He thinks he can get in way earlier than that. And he was wrong. Billy now, you notice, yes, picking up these rounds here and there, but because there's been a patchwork of back and forth, it's much harder to justify throwing themselves in a 3v5 scenario with no control of the site and with no duelist to work with.
If that position from YZ got really messed up in the moment, it's tough to play around that Viper's wall close up. It feels like you either need to be in front of it or you need to kind of be playing back towards the actual site, stairs. Because in that situation, when it drops, there's just multiple players on multiple angles that are going to be looking at you. It's hard to find a target even. You can see him trying to adjust. It's just too much. There's simply too much for him to try to look at. And too many players will have a much easier time dealing with him. I mean, look, he's just wide out in the open.
And that's how Sentinels realize they can take control of that operator held position. Use control of util to close the gap on them.
Really good round,
Pop
guys.
when that
I
wall
did a
comes
lot
down.
Billy with those saves. Forza Cam by again. They do still have the Steel Guard, and Wisey's got on the Showstopper. He was 1 away and died. Kane 1 away from the Nightfall, 1 away from the Viper's Pit. They could get so many ults in this round, which they need desperately a couple players on. Horrendous cash, while Sentinels just have a bank to keep buying over and over.
This Poison Orb is set up to make even just trying to trigger the sheer wall potentially lethal for Sentinels. They can't just duck in there and make it come up.
BLG, they do have that forward position over towards Rebel again. Same 2 players stacked up. Have done a nice job re-clearing them though. Realizing that they're finding more success just working this A side of the map and essentially avoiding this Vice entirely.
Is a defensive showstopper play on the table for YZ here? Prowler out, looking the same as last round. Rushia now with a bit of spray.
Second is fully committed.
He's out, he's out.
He's able to get out,
But again, where to from here? 40 seconds in the round, and they've done nothing about that sheer wall at sea, which has been more than a small nuisance for Sen.
And there are still 2 anchors there, out in the open. That has to be traded.
The opening of the door is so big for Bang. He paves the way for a firing line of Sentinels to look at the seaside defenders. Now they've gotten in once again with a 2-player advantage. YZ might have to entry this with a showstopper, but Zekin is waiting for him to make his way out of that B connector. And he's ready for K9 as well. Bring me another, he says, and YZ acquiesces. An easy pick-off once more for the Rays. And it is a dastardly scenario that Russia has to find a way to unravel. And with this Guardian, he's got no choice but just to go for it. SEN encircling him to get away from the blast. Billy might have lost their biggest opportunity to get back in control of this map and series. Russia lucky to get away with his life.
Next round, Billy, of course, going to have to force up with everything they've got. They still have ultimates. That could turn the tide on a bad buy round to stay in the game. This is Sentinels on match point. 1 round away from making the playoffs. Going 2-0 to start this tournament after an 0-2 at Bangkok, finishing in disappointing fashion. Playing with a hunger today. You can see it on their faces, especially Celsius in this game, locked in. Second back on the original agent that he made a name with years ago to propel him to the top of the American scene. Is putting on a show on Lotus.
Billy have got a lot to commit into a round like this, though. Bang has already gotten pretty far forward, and Russia sees that barrel. The Guardian he maintained from the previous round pays dividends. And that showstopper will be avoided. Maybe a little bit quick on the trigger finger is YZ. That Ray's ultimate's off the table now.
And John just able to get a little bit off to the left there from YZ's perspective. Again, this is a situation where you do have Narrate over towards that C-mount side, just controlling the space, ensuring that no one is pushing up. Viper's pit here now, going to make a potential execute there, an absolute nightmare.
And you mentioned it, Sentinels don't have those big initiator ultimates to work with. Don't have a showstopper quite yet. Just inches short in all of those categories.
Maybe if they had the Nightfall, then they could throw that at the pit, Prowler, the Viper, something like that, but it's not an option right now.
So is it a hard force? Hoping to catch a player positioned far forward, like we've seen from YZ in the past, but BLG are actually giving a lot more map control over
30
here.
seconds left.
Now SEN are going to run into this.
YZ, does he dare jump up?
Shot through the box, he needs to see over this wall and can't quite, so that's tree access now gained by Sentinels. Russia, though, is ready. Pure stopping power. This time it's a Guardian shot to John QT's cranium. 12 seconds left. Sentinels have to go. Zeki getting sprayed down, but is able to find Russia. Why is he trying to disrupt with the blast pack, but he gets caught out. Knight deals with Narrate. Zekin and Zelsis back to back for the series.
Steel Garden should be connecting onto both, though. Zelsis on the run. Zekin just has the shorty trying to play back sight, but the showstopper as well. He got that with the spike going down.
Zelsis is going to be jumped on in tree. Got nowhere to go. Primaries are available again. And back to back. Zekin and Zelsis put Neff in a solo situation. Signed, sealed, delivered. SEN City are back in a Masters playoff.